You good? You can get better. Spread the word. Straight Up gets better on Bess FM. Straight Up Jerry Small, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays on Bess 100 FM. 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. I'm your host, Robin Jerry Small. The numbers are 279-8473, 279-8473, and 619-1508, 619-1508. Also streaming live on the internet. Bess FM, Straight Up, Robin Jerry Small.
If you got to feel it, you got to be clean. You got to make it straight, you can't be lean. Share the joys togetherness can bring. To the true soul, you just have to cling, and then you will feel the you'll feel the soul inside of you.
The views, opinions, or statements which are expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of Bess 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
I want you to carry this on the road for me. And don't take no time from nobody. Just do what me tell you for the same time and make sure that everything work according to how man say anything for work. See? Take back yourself and bring back yourself in a one piece. Make sure you reach. Hear me? Lord of mercy. Hey, Lord of His mercy, Lord of mercy. Driver, don't stop at all. Drop this Arizona round a Albemarle. Driver, don't even itch. Collect the little food there and come back quick. Driver, just remember the damn speed limit. Cause if you're running the fence, my friend, that is it. I've got an Nextel phone and a singular chip. Any problem you can reach me on this. I pounds them and buy when a tons man a ship. Green like grass, brown like chocolate. FedEx and UPS I make several trip. And me life savings are right on this. You can drink and beer but don't you dare burn a split. This ain't the marijuana make your light uplift. Even though it compress and tie down in a plastic. Don't deliver it and going up drastic. A barrel gun me bust and me and you know we can't stick. Me want change me zinc and put up the chroma stick. Tired receive Red Bull a straight hypnotic. So driver, me say don't stop at all. Drop this Arizona round a Albemarle. Driver, me say don't even itch. Collect the little food there and come back quick. Driver, just remember the damn speed limit. Cause if you're running the fence, my friend, that is it. I beat this man a rum in and about now. Because my girl won't wear Victoria's Secret. Some no love here so you feel put in pampas. Billy a informer with federal charge. Remember, don't care nobody on me yard. So what me love and me no respect coward. I dep on a mission man hustling hard. Don't get to you through them and suffer and starve. Hustling ability we learn that a yard. No feel your brain big, no bother drag yard. The last boy will try that then like that. Sell off where you have a make we set you record. Driver, me say don't stop at all. Track this Arizona round a Albemarle. Driver, me say don't even itch. Collect the little spenny and come back quick. Driver, just remember the damn speed limit. And if you're running the cops, my friend, that is it. Action pop while some boy appear lip. Cut a bunch of bantan cause you know you can't slip. Reach up on the rhythm for make them turn and dip. Watch it make the road watch show them how we do it when you watch right. Make sure you maintain speed limit.
not trot the corrupted way. We teach the youth about the righteous way. Youth man, keep out the Babylon way. Tell them to keep out the Babylon day. Yeah, not trot the corrupted way. We teach the youth about the righteous way. Dig this. Every day them a cry out for mercy. Some don't got no job, so they don't have no money. Little youth go to school every day. Don't give in to the system that will lead you astray. Remember what mama did say, that if you work hard, you will see a better way. Keep out of Babylon way. Youth man, keep out of Babylon way. Yeah, not chat the corrupted way. We teach the youth about the righteous way. Youth man, keep out of Babylon way. Tell them to keep out of Babylon way. Yeah, not chat the corrupted way. We teach the youth about the righteous way. Yeah, but keep the faith and you will see what better man that you could be. And even though they say you're bound to fail, we know the truth, our children must prevail. Just take a chance and don't look back, cause you'll be soaring to the top. Crime and violence we must stop. Youth and you don't get hooked on that. Cause many are called but few are chosen. Ethiopians stand strong while the wicked are frozen. Yeah, they might try to teach you get to youths of the promises of their false God. But I and I will stand in the way and refuse them of the wicked rod. But tell them to keep out of Babylon way. Youth man, keep out of Babylon way. Yeah, not chat the corrupted way. We teach the youth about the righteous way. But tell them to keep out of Babylon way. Youth man, keep out of Babylon way. Yeah, not chat the corrupted way. We teach the youth about the righteous way. And I say, well, every day them a cry out for mercy. They don't got no job, so they don't have no money. Little youth get shot down the lane, it's a pity, Lord. Oh my mama did cry for the youths them down a GP. Well I say step out, step out, step out.
Chanta Samade, 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 Chanta Samade. Reach in a vision, yeah. Come on, don't walk this down easy street. Drop these
welcome to the program for today. Today, Monday the 11th of April 2022. And welcome to all the viewers and listeners. I don't understand why the YouTube program, the live feed, visual feed, YouTube visual feed from Thursday last week, Thursday the 7th. I don't understand why it was not available on the YouTube channel. But try to find out if we can retrieve it, but hope everything is going all right today. Today, as I said, 11th of April 2022. Also happens to be the date on which the government launched a physical and violent campaign against the Rastafari movement in 1963, referred to as the Coral Garden developments. Coral Garden developments that spread all over Jamaica. Anyway, the numbers are 619-1508, 619-1508, and 279-8473, 279-8473. We'll start right away by going to the telephone. We have a few live chat there, but we'll keep up with the live chat better today. Good morning, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mr. Small.
Welcome, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you. And you?
Fine, thank you, man. Savla, man, this?
Yes, the same one.
Yeah,
I just called to say how life is interesting.
Yeah.
I made a call this morning earlier to a program for yours.
Yeah.
And when I finished speaking, a gentleman criticized me and said, that man, they are so explained.
That man what?
He said, I saw that man, they stay. All labor right, I said, someone like to
him said that about you, that you're all labor right?
Yes. So maybe there's one that is real. But hold on. After that, Sheppy called and cursed me. Listen, you see the paradox?
Yeah. What? I don't hear it. I don't hear it.
But I'm telling you.
Yeah, you asked me to hear the paradox. I have to hear the other side.
On the other side is that Sheppy cursed me and said me a PNP and how me a say labor rights worse than PNP. None, I never said that, sir. So one is calling me a labor right. And Sheppy call and accuse me. Say that man defense problem or something like that. Say me say labor right worse than PNP. I never said that. I never said which one is worse than the other. I made a comparison. I said both JLP and whenever one raise a point, for example, the PNP might talk up about the thing at Carl Garden or something. The other one raise another point and mention about like the Green Day killing and so on. So when one raise those points, the other one raise one and talk about the people about them dumb. So I didn't say which one is worse than the other. Well, seeing that they come to this, well, I would say, I think, well, I don't know the person dead, so I can't call his name now. Huh?
Yeah. Who is that?
Pardon me?
Yeah, if the person dead, you won't have that much problem calling them name, but...
Okay.
But
well,
we try to keep, we determined to keep things true, not just to take advantage of the absence of them. What is it?
Well, I think Michael Manley is one of the biggest liars. And I think Bustamante is a terrible liar. I think both,
Yeah.
I think both of them lie. You understand?
Yeah.
And this morning, a gentleman called and talked about the Biden want to join Russia or something like that. When I hear what he's saying, what America would like he said, America want to crush Russia and wipe them off of them up and something to the effect. I don't remember the exact words. When I hear him talking, it reminds me of the PNP and the JLP because I said it already, and I said, especially like right now the 80s, the two leaders from both parties, none no better than the other. They will talk about how they love the poor and all that. But you see, when it comes to election time, I submit to you, this is my opinion, that they don't care it don't matter if I say it already that you can stay up a crossroad and look downtown with everything burned down. They don't care as long as them are going to Jamaica House. You understand, sir? That is the aim. And they don't care what happened. They don't care what they have to do. And have to beg, borrow, stock ballot box, or thief, privilege there. That is what it is. Both of them.
Yeah. And say, it is very bad in Jamaica, but it's not Jamaica alone, but although it is worse and more spectacular in Jamaica than most places. But a lot of places that have emerged out of colonialism and still don't fully emerge, because Jamaica has not yet emerged out of colonialism, but where the formation of the politics emerged out of colonialism. And even a country like America, which was a colony, you find a very similar back and forth and tit for tat between the two major parties, and sometimes the two major parties develop alongside one another, and sometimes one of them emerge out of the other one, because they know that the JLP emerged from out of the PNP.
Yes.
So.
On that point, I mentioned that I don't rate Putin to that, is my opinion. And I said that he had done something to the Constitution so that he will be in power for the next, I don't know how many years, but more than ordinary.
Which is this he? Which he?
Putin, in Russia I'm talking.
Yeah.
And people in the Dumas and the Politburo and so who oppose and others who oppose it, a number of them have ended up being poisoned.
What you call it, Dumas?
The Politburo, I think their parliament in name. I think it's Dumas or something like that name.
Yeah, something like that. Duma, yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
In Russia.
Yes.
They have a part in there. I don't remember the exact thing whether they care, but one part in the Politburo.
Yeah.
And another, I think that's the other part. I think that's Dumas in the UMAS. If I remember something right.
Yeah, it might do have an S. Anyway, yes.
But people who oppose him, most of them end up being poisoned. And the last one when tried poison him and escape and go to Germany.
Yeah.
And when he came back, lock him up and the man was laid. So that's the problem I have with him, and I gather that he's one of the richest men in the world.
Yeah, so it is rumored, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't understand how it's, well, you said to me that Russia is not a communist country, they are not a social, I don't know what it is.
No,
Same with China.
Yeah.
Because Because I used to believe that Russia is a communist country, but you
Yeah, it was a
that.
communist country for. It was a communist country for about 70 years.
Mm-hmm.
But since 1990 or 91, the communism has been dismantled. Not only that, the Federation has been dismantled because the Soviet Union was Russia plus many others in a federation. I think it's about 10 or 11 of them. So it was a federation. The federation has been dismantled. Russia is one of the biggest land area. But communism is not what prevail in Russia again.
Yeah.
But a lot of gangsterism and terrorism and that kind of thing.
So lastly, as you pointed out to me, I did not. I was thinking that there were certain countries, but you pointed out.
No, you were thinking that there were certain what?
Communist countries.
Yeah, I think there are a few still communist countries
but,
like.
Yes. And that
I think you still could call Cuba a communist country, although them still loosening up them things.
That's the point I was saying, because when I spoke to you probably don't remember, because I wouldn't expect you to remember all these things. But I discussed with you and I had said to you that certain communists, and you asked me to name them, and I named them, but you pointed out to me rightly so. I had mentioned North Korea, and you say it's not.
No, I'm not sure if I said. Yes, I'm not sure if I did say that about North Korea, but maybe China.
Because I was going to say China, but you say it's not either. But
no, it's not communist. It's not the communist principle rule in China. No, the Communist Party is in control. That's a different thing. The Communist Party is in control, but them opened up to capitalism long time ago, and that's what make them get so. That's what make them get so rich. Not even the people, but that's what make some of the people and the government get so strong in the last from about 1978. It's about nearly 45 years now. Them start opening up to capitalism and other things, you know.
Okay, so I was thinking of, but the case with North Korea is a dictatorship they have up there still, like a dynasty.
Is that what them have up there?
So like
dictatorship,
a dictatorship.
yeah. But as you know, communism don't really mean dictatorship. Communism and dictatorship is not the same thing. Although communist countries usually be ruled by dictators. Because you have capitalist dictators too.
Yeah.
But as I say, it's an autocratic rule in North Korea.
Right. I believe too that if we were in Russia, I don't think we could talk on radio program criticizing Mr. Putin and so radio programs cannot. I don't think we could talk criticizing his action and his behavior in one way or the other.
Yeah, there's not no great amount of freedom of speech, especially in the media. Russia is one of those countries.
Because I heard of a case where that lady was working at a radio station and she or her father must come from Ukraine and she talked about it, and I don't know what happened to her now, I don't hear about her.
Yeah, a lot of media people get killed and disappear and all kind of different things. But the two extremes of communism and capitalism are dictatorship and some form of democracy. Both of them usually entertain or allow or are infested with similar bad habits and bad cliques of people and cliques of people controlling the population and controlling the country, you know.
Yeah.
So because as you know, the different methods of running a community or different methods of our community operate are still not finally being worked out. So there's many, and that's a great opportunity for people who are on them way trying to free themselves, because like us in Jamaica now, and the African people generally in Africa and outside Africa have a great opportunity to work out a system of economics and government that is better than both communism and capitalism. Because that's not the final thing. None of them is the final thing worked out. Both of them have very serious drawbacks and flaws, and sometimes flaws are accidental and sometimes they are intentional and part of the plan.
Yeah.
So there's a great opportunity for human being work out better ways to live together, better way to reward the people who work, and not only the rich getting the greatest reward. Much better ways are available, but it take hundreds and thousands and generations of people to improve any area of life, you know.
Yes, sir. Okay.
If nothing like sports and physical activity and track and field and so on. People are working out ways to train and stay fit better. People are working out better surfaces to run on. People are working out better equipment to use in these sports and so on. And because of that, performances are getting greater and greater. But some of the things that them use might not be really fair for competition. And so therefore you have a constant reviewing of what are the rules about. You remember recently, and it's since Bolt come dominate sprinting from about 2007, them bringing in a rule in first class athletics that anyone who picks start in a race must be scratched and disqualified from a race immediately. Remember one time, for years, you used to have a 1, 2, 3 chance to give a pick start in a race.
Yeah.
And one of the main reasons why them bringing that drastic rule, you know, is because it's television and media pay for most of these sporting events.
Yeah.
And because it's television and media and advertising pay for most of these sporting events. The business people don't want to tolerate any time holding up in a race, because that is time that is being taken away from them selling advertisement for play between the race them. And it's them bringing in various, or forcing the sports to bring in various rules that cater to the broadcast and to the advertiser. Let's hold up in a them time, you know.
Yes.
All kind of different things affect life.
But on the same point, I didn't want to. But sir, many years ago, I think when Arthur Winter and those guys run 1950 in Helsinki, somewhere I'm not sure. It was three and the third pick start, you would be out, right?
Yeah.
Now to think of it, it wasn't that good, you know. Let me tell you why. And I think
we have to be quick. We have any more call here? Yeah, we have to be quick. Yeah, go on.
If there are 8 persons in the race and each of them is entitled to 3, then if one could get 2, then
no, I don't think even at that time. I don't think each person in the race would get 3 and can accumulate. Listen, man, I don't think it was each person entitled to 3 that would have result in 20. But, you know, you're not allowed me to finish. All right, we have to call back and we'll finish talk about that. Yeah.
Okay then. All right.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Our next call. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr.
Hey, Miss Thompson, morning, what going on?
Not too bad. Yeah, as a blind man, and good morning to all the listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a blind man was pointing out, yeah, the caller on the morning program was referring to American and them sanctions against Russia.
American and then what?
The sanctions.
Sanctions.
Yeah. And I don't remember if it's in the same one, was saying Putin is a better person.
Yeah.
And he's good and he's a better person. How can someone be good or better and killing off innocent people?
You are asking that, or you're commenting on what them said this morning?
Yeah. What they are saying, what the person is saying.
Yes.
So I, was saying, oh, can he commend him? Putin says a good person.
Yeah, when I'm killing out
a better person and killing out so much innocent people.
Oh, that is what the next caller did say. Okay.
Yeah.
And then now, did any of the callers who were disagree with him, did any of them label him as a PNP or a GLP?
No, it's Russian and Ukraine, you know.
No, but I thought you were
them
discussing about how somebody calling and was describing was criticized.
I didn't. No, the host, they kind of clear that up, saying the blind teacher never, wasn't talking nothing like what he is, accusing the blind teacher about.
Yes.
He never made no comment say which one is that or which one. He was just making a point.
Yeah, I didn't hear the whole of the conversation, but I did hear when the caller, what them calling, with the caller, what them call Sheppy. I did hear when him comment. I did hear when he make some criticism of the blind man, who I always call, and saying that him blind. And yet still him want to go on like him know things, but as if a blind person can't follow up events and understand.
Right.
I did hear that part.
And I tell you, the blind teacher, I love to hear him because he enlightened us so much,
Yeah, man, it is never boring. To me, it is never boring.
He's teaching us, but, he's telling us things that we can, can help us, but... Check only politics, and he would have put his head on the block, and he would have, just war him as, rumors of war, and them, and them.
And as I say, the reason why I comment that the blind teacher, to me, never seemed to be boring in the way that him discuss things, as against some other people who, just as you say, is only just one point of view. All right, similarly, I'm going to tell you, as you say that he would have put him head on the block. The other day I call, who me and him always get on good, and I know him, I get to know him quite well. And him call the program, and him say, you don't like certain kind of thing, but I'm not afraid to tell you, say, you like him a big me up. And him tell me, say, him name out somebody else, like him say, Selassie a God. And then when him done, him say, you Jerry Small a God. I just cut the call same time, because me, I don't tolerate them idiot argument there. And it's the same way Sheppy did go as far many times and say, see I got God. So I try to say them kind of argument to me, them more boring. Not just that them is outrageous. It pass outrageous and boring. Because you talk something like an idiot thing. But it's not of no interest to nobody and you thought them thing that's a regular. Because several times here I thought that. And if somebody's even my friend and want to come boost me up, I'm going more bore me. And nobody try to boost me up. Them all more bore me more than make me feel like me big. Yes, you take credit if somebody giving you credit and say, boy, you run a good race. Or somebody take credit and say, boy, I like how you drive safe. That's different from boosting up people. And it's not really good for me or anybody. And it's very boring to me.
Yeah, he all over. Other station too, and he just attacking and just one side for him, and he just, even this morning them have to kind of let him go.
Yeah, look here now. It's not a crime, you see. It's not a crime for somebody to participate in a discussion program and from morning till night them phone all 5 different stations, and that's not a crime. It's not a crime to them love all them party. And it's not even a crime for them to describe an ex-human being as God. But to me now, the biggest thing about them thing is not that it's a crime. To me, it's just damn boring. Just boring. So him have a right can phone station all about every day now. And him have a right to defend him party. And him have a right to put him head on the block. But to me, such behavior is not a crime, but it's damn boring. I want to get rid of it as much as I would want to get rid of crime too. I want to get rid of it out of my space and my hearing. Boring, man. That's boring.
It's terrible, man. Like, I'm just tired to...
Yeah, I'm tired to talk about them too. I'm going to talk about something else too.
Yeah, only when him come on. Anyway, yeah, I understand a young man from Great Britain.
Yeah.
Yeah, came to Jamaica recently, but I don't get the full story, so I don't know if any of the listeners know about, could shed some light. He came down with his document or what was expired, but he managed to come to Jamaica.
Yeah.
And when he to go back up, maybe not long after, they don't let him go, them stop him. And I understand he have medical problem.
Hold on. They don't let him go, meaning that Jamaica don't let him go or England don't let him in.
Jamaica.
Don't let him go when him go to travel.
Go back to where.
So why he booked a ticket? Did he book a ticket? Hello?
He came to Jamaica.
No, hold on. Did he get a ticket and go to the airport or go to the wharf or a boat?
I don't know about it.
So how they stop him from traveling? Usually when you're...
Yeah.
No, usually when somebody is stopped from travel is when them try to embark up on a plane or a ship. So how it was that they stopped him? Him got a ticket and was leaving?
Yeah, he was to return. I understand.
No, you're not. No, the point of it is this.
Mm-hmm.
How did they stop him when he tried to travel? When he went to the airport or the wharf?
To the airport.
Oh, and them stop him because of what reason? What did Jamaica government stop him for?
They say like in paper, it was expired in documents.
Oh.
And yet he came down and that.
Hold on, which document? In passport?
Mostly in travel documents.
No, there are different travel documents. Passport is one. Although the visa is inside of a visa usually be recorded inside of the passport. It's still a different document from the passport itself. Then a boarding pass is a document. A ticket, an airline ticket is a document. So there are several documents that people usually travel with. Which one of the documents them say expire?
Well, I don't really know this.
Oh, but you want to know if anybody hear about this?
I was wondering how could he came down and can go back up, and it was
up where?
Come to Jamaica from.
All right, yeah. There are reasons. If certain documents are not in order, you might not be allowed to go on a plane. Yes, but I want to know which one of the documents. But you don't know yet. But most likely.
I'm saying.
No, listen.
He died.
Listen. Oh, him died in Jamaica since that?
Yeah, he died, and I hear that they are apologizing.
Hold on, he died. He died because of what reason?
I understand he have some medical issues.
Oh, I wonder if it's before him reach him have it or him get sick here.
I don't know.
But other people, you see from how you describe it, I believe some other people might be here about it. And we call and give us some more information, yeah?
Okay, yeah.
Have more?
Hoping.
All right, I hope anyway we hear something later.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, thank you for listening.
Yes, ma'am.
Here.
Yes, ma'am. Next call. Good morning, welcome.
Oh, morning, Jerry. Morning, Bongo. The word I think you were looking for, to my best of my knowledge, would be neoliberalist.
You mean alternative of, as against what?
As against democracy.
Oh.
Or capitalism, not capitalism. The extreme end of it would be neoliberalist.
The extreme end of what?
Of the democratic capital system, where it seems to be good, but when you reach to the side of the neoliberalists, where they want all the profit for themselves, they want to work the people them to an extreme extent. Just like how you'd have the communism and the dictatorship would be the extreme end of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not that dictatorship. Yeah, it's not that dictatorship. Well, okay. All right, hear this now. The neoliberalism is a new packaging of the same capitalism. But the neoliberalism is a new campaign or propaganda supporting the capitalism or supporting people who want more, are convincing people who want more equality and want more justice in them political system that the capitalism can still work, but you mustn't leave from the capitalism and go back to socialism or any other philosophy. But the neoliberalism is
my understanding of it.
Pardon me?
That is the way I understand it. Yeah, I don't know if it's different, but that's the way I understand it.
Yes, and similarly, That is a similar thing like what took the transformation that took place in the PNP during the 80s. That by the time them win back the government 1989, they had abandoned most of them socialist and militant policies, and them did even abandon the more so-called liberal way of dressing, just dressing ordinary and not too formal, and them went back to the necktie and suit kind of thing, and Michael Mann they transformed back, and the PNP started to resemble. There was hardly any difference between the PNP and JLP, because the PNP during the 80s had got convinced that boy this because during that same time, you know, Russia was the Soviet Union was collapsing, so the PNP was one of the countries. PNP was one of the political movements around the world that become convinced that boy this revolution thing and this equality thing and this socialism thing now go work, you know, make us get back in line with let us come with a new liberalism, you know. So that's why neo really mean new. And it was that kind of movement. Matter of fact, I believe that is, you remember Thatcher? You remember the woman Thatcher who was Prime Minister?
Margaret Thatcher, yes. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. She's the one. She and Reagan was the same one who come up with trickle-down economics.
Yes, like the parent of the neoliberalism, yes.
Yes, where you it doesn't matter what there is, give it to the rich and it will trickle down to the poor. But it doesn't work.
No, then it does work, you know. Here why it does work. Because that's how you get a trickle. But a trickle is not enough. It's a trickle you get it. It's like them say to you, say, all right, I know you're thirsty and I know that I have all the water here and I have more than I need. But instead of going to spend money build pipe, just wait till I drink my belly full and I will urinate and it will trickle down to you. I know it's not the nicest water, but when it trickle down to you, you go filter it, you know. You will get something to drink, just wait. Don't be impatient, just wait. I soon urinate and it will trickle down to you, you know. You know, say it does work, it works that you really get a trickle, but trickle can't work. Trickle can't help.
Yes. Yes, I don't know if you didn't get to listen to the Cabo program yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes,
yes,
I enjoyed that program very well.
Yeah, it is. Discussion between people who know what them talking about, or between people who know how to examine arguments to see if it is true or factual. Discussion like that is always beneficial for you to listen to. And she usually assemble some people who either know what they are talking about or know how to examine or search for what they want to know, you know.
Yes. But even back to our thing now with the constitution that we would want to make and the president and all of that, right?
No. When you say the president and all of that, what do you mean?
I mean, if you're going to have a president, an executive president,
if Jamaica devise, if the people of Jamaica devise a form of government, where them going? Hold on, please. If we don't listen to one another, you might be talking the same thing as me, or me talking the same thing as you, but we don't realize. So, if Jamaica is to devise a different form of government and write a constitution that requires the election of the head of government by the people, because I know that the Prime Minister of Jamaica is not elected by the people.
No, he's not.
So as you put it, an executive head of government, what they want to call it, president, leader, or prime minister. Executive elected by the people directly. Yes. So you say whatever we want that, it's about writing a new constitution.
Yes. Why would we still need a prime minister if we have an executive president?
No, in cases where there is such, people have been confusing the issue. Some people have been referring to a ceremonial president, but calling it executive president. A ceremonial head of government, a ceremonial head of state, you see, is one who just carry out ceremonies and do official duties of formal situation. But the actual person who lead the government now is a different person. So you might have a governor general or a king or a ceremonial president heading the state as a and then you have the person who get elected by the people and who really head the government, who is you might call them a prime minister or have some other name. Or like in the United States, you have no ceremonial head of government. You have one head of government elected by the people, but him is only a head of one branch of the government. The President of the United States is not the head of the government of the United States, Did you realize that?
Yes, I realize that he's only head of the federal government.
Yes, he is the head of the executive. He's not even the head of the federal government. He's the head of the executive.
Yes.
Because the United States government have 3 main branches and he's only head of one of the branches. So, correctly speaking, you couldn't say that the President of America is the President of the America, is the head of the American government. He's the head of one branch of the government. And the head of another branch of the government is the Chief Justice, who is the head of the judicial or justice system. And you have another branch of the government who the person who preside over that name either President of the Senate or the Speaker of the House. You would have more say? I don't think them have a president. Yeah, I think them have a president of the Senate. What is the name of the head of the Senate?
Vice President. The Vice President is the head president of the Senate.
Yes, okay, good.
And the Speaker of the House should be Nancy Pelosi. She is the head, would be the head of the legislature.
Yes, Speaker of the House.
Right.
And what does she do? She preside over the discussion. She's not a ruler of them. She preside over the discussion. In other words, she keep order in the discussion.
Yes, so that is what I'm saying. Why Jamaica don't go that way? Instead we came two first because...
No, hold on 1 minute. When you're saying why Jamaica don't go that way, it's because the people of Jamaica have never come together and agreed on which way to go. In 1962, it was not the people of Jamaica who agreed on how the Jamaica government to run. Up to now, the population of Jamaica has never made a decision, and never been allowed to make a decision about how the government to run. Never. So that is the reason why it's running in the way that you don't like. All right, go on, tell me the way you don't like it run.
So that is what I'm saying. In this context, now we are putting ideas out there to formulate our own constitution. That is the way I would want to see it formulated, where we don't have somebody paying as a ceremonial head of state while we still having to be paying a prime minister.
All right, so therefore, people like you, their duty is to agitate amongst other people and to spread them ideas amongst other people how a government could be better constructed and constructed. So that means people like you have to continue campaigning hard amongst other citizens till it become an overwhelming movement that the people not tolerate no more JLP and PNP and 62 independent 62 constitution. And it can come about. It has happened in many countries. So don't bother feel like say you're working in vain. You have to just find more effective ways for work and more effective ways for discuss. And that is, I believe that is why you phone program like this. I forgot to our next call. Call back again.
Let's have one more
No. We only have 4 minutes. And you're one more thing going to take away 1 minute out of the other person 4 minutes. So call me back again in the next hour. You understand? Are you there? Next call.
Yeah, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Jerry.
Morning.
Yeah, I hear the lady was often talking about the man who died.
Yes.
Basically, I read the article. It's a British man.
Yes.
But they said the British here were denied because the passport is damaged.
Oh. And they denied him what?
The passport.
Hold on.
They denied him access.
To the plane?
Yes.
Yeah, because the passport is damaged. In which way was the passport damaged?
Well, they said the damage very bad. So I don't know.
I'm not talking which degree. Whether it's bad, very bad, or triple bad. I want to know in which way was it damaged? Like, was it the cover damage or the inside?
Hold
on, please. Is that I was just coming to? I want to know, because why asking you, I want you finish, I want you make me finish answer. Because people are learning from what you go and tell me, you know. So that's why I go and give a little description of 3 different ways that the passport could have damaged, and people could have get a picture. If the passport cover can damage, one of the pages or several of the pages inside can damage, or even the photograph of the person who have the passport can damage. And that is, so if the cover damage, you'd expect so maybe them wouldn't really stop him for that. But if the inside page them damage, might be them stop him for that. Or if the picture damage, so that's why I was asking you. Yeah man, which part it was?
Yeah, the picture.
Yeah, that is a vital, because that is an identification. So, you know, so did they give him any way, or he could have gone to the High Commission, the British High Commission in Kingston and get
it was awaiting for travel documents, but unfortunately it should come in for a blood transfer, like you have some kidney problem.
No, blood what? Hold on. You're not finishing what you're saying, you know. He should have come in for a blood what?
Blood transfer.
Blood transfusion, right?
Sure.
Yes, and because I had kidney problem. So he was waiting for travel documents to come from England. Or
was waiting.
Hold on, please. Hold on. Let us allow each other to finish the question, man. Other people listening, that I know you understand the question, but other people listening me. So you have to allow me. Other people learning from you, you know. But you have to allow me if you ask the question that them can learn even more. So I'm asking, was he waiting for travel documents to come from England? Or was he waiting for travel documents to come from the High Commission, the British High Commission in Jamaica?
High Commissioner.
In Jamaica. Okay.
Yes,
and meanwhile, him get medical attention. And him died meanwhile, you say?
Yes, and died in the hospital.
Yes, because maybe if them hurry up and give him, maybe if they did hurry up and give him the documents, him could have traveled the next day or a couple days. But instead of that...
His name is Chad Carl Powell.
Oh, yeah? Him born in Britain?
Well, I know they never disclosed him. That's a British man.
Yeah.
I sent you the article to your phone anyway.
All right. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
All right, sir.
Good. Thank you very much for that. Yes, I want to play a little piece of music. It's for a little young lady. We have a piece of music named Isn't She Lovely? Do we have it? I never get a paper. No, what happened to the, you have the next one? Anyway, it is soon 9 o'clock, but there was a little young lady that I know, and her birthday was on Saturday. And her name is Shaniel Smith. Shaniel Smith, her birthday was Saturday. Very lovely young lady. I want to play that piece of music for her. You have it? Stevie Wonder, Isn't She Lovely? You might have to play the whole head later, but let's hear a piece of it till 11 o'clock. Don't have it yet? Alright, the numbers are 619-1508, 619-1508 and 279-8473, 279-8473. We got him? Let's go.
Bess FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Talking about transportation, transporting the past, the present and the future generation. Whether taxi, private vehicle or bike, your 2 bicycle wheel them are a hike. Listen up quick, you coulda young or you old. Up on the bus cause we are got the road.
This week on The Road, it's all about the most vulnerable among the road-using population, our children. How can you protect them from the dangers of the road, and what can you teach them to help them protect themselves? Let's find out. I'm Jeremy Nelson. Come back with The Road. With data from the Road Safety Unit, the RSU in the Transport Ministry indicating that road fatalities for 2022 have already surpassed those recorded for the corresponding period last year, the issue of road safety, especially for children, cannot be overemphasized.
When our children are using the roadway, they're exposed. And they're not exposed because they're lack of understanding. They're exposed because they're at a particular disadvantage in terms of height, in terms of visibility, and in particular the fact that lots of the schools in urban areas are actually on main roads. And it speaks to our lack of ability as adults to protect our children.
Director of the Road Safety Unit, Deidre Hudson-Sinclair. Speeding remains one of the key factors that account for road fatalities on Jamaica's roadways. Motorists should cut their speed when driving through built-up and residential areas and keep within the designated speed limit. If you're driving in a school zone, keep below 30 kilometers per hour. The impact of a vehicle going as much as 20 kilometers per hour has enough force to kill a fully grown adult and will most likely kill a child. So please, take time drive. You could save not only your own life, but the life of a pedestrian.
We are asking drivers now, whether they are automobile drivers, truck drivers, motorcycle drivers, exercise, conscience. We have a social problem. We speed for everything. Speeding ranks among the 4th leading causes of fatal collisions every year. And whilst we would have been enforcing the law, we do recognize that this too has a limitation. There is simply no substitute for being your brother's keeper.
Inspector at the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Robin Williams. Adults have a responsibility to teach children how to use the road correctly and when to seek assistance to get from one side to the other.
Naturally, because children are vulnerable, most of them have no perception of what danger really is. It is an adventure, an exotic experience. But of course, in addition to helping them how to protect themselves, we give them the basics. You teach them to look right, look left, look right again, cross when it is safe, only after the vehicles have actually stopped. They are never to attempt to cross the road if the vehicles are moving. Where it is practical, always seek the assistance of an adult, and where it is available, they will seek the assistance of the school crossing wardens.
Inspector Williams has a few tips for child pedestrians and pillion passengers as they traverse the various thoroughfares across the island.
We also encourage children to walk in single file if they have to walk in groups, wear protective helmets if they are going to be pillion riders, and of course, if they'll have to walk on the roadway where there is no sidewalk, they will walk on the right side of the road. This is crucial. It might not be practical, especially nights, but we do encourage them to wear light-colored clothing or walk with a flashlight.
Inspector at the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Robin Williams. And that's where we are going to let you off for the road this week. I'm Jeremy Nelson, and until next time, you could walk, take taxi, bus or truck. Now just look out for yourself. Watch out for the youth them when you are the road.
NIS pensioners, early encashment continues. Any pension order voucher with a payable date in April 2022 may be encashed as of Thursday, April 7. Collect your April payments at your convenience. Simply visit your designated post office. Pension vouchers can only be encashed at post offices. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
We're committed to reducing the impact of disaster. disasters occurring in Jamaica. We're ever ready to assist you before, during and after a disaster. But everybody have a role to play, so make we work together and follow the plan. Whether rich or poor or where you come from, hurricanes affect everyone, so be prepared. Prevention is better than cure. Be prepared. Listen to ADPEM.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
Hello?
Nadine?
Yeah?
Me just pick up one Maxfield Easterbun up by supermarket phone.
One Maxfield, but nah go do.
Nadine, that is all I could afford.
Uncle Pat, Daddy, and Jeffrey only eat bun back. And bun only come with front back and back. So where next back I go come from?
If you want more Maxfield Easterbun, go up at the supermarket or check maxfieldbakery.com.
Yeah, I forgot send credit for put on service then.
Come on for me phone. Sure. Maxfield Easterbun, tweet to the max.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
1, 2, 3, believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
Vijam Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Vijam Printers, your best choice in printing.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
I want you carry this on the road for me. And don't take no time from the body. Just do what me tell you for those same star. And make sure say everything work according to how man say anything for work. See? Take back yourself and bring back yourself in one piece. Make sure see you reach. Hear me? Lord of mercy. Hey, Lord of his mercy. Lord of mercy. Driver. Don't stop at all. Drop this Arizona round an Albemarle. Driver. Don't even itch. Collect a little food there and come back quick. Driver, just remember the damn speed limit. Cause if you're running the fence, my friend, that is it. I've got an Nextel phone and a singular chip. Any problem you can reach me on this. I pounds them and buy when a tons man a ship. Green like grass, brown like chocolate. FedEx and UPS I make several trip. All me life savings are right on this. You can drink and beer but don't you dare burn a split. This ain't the marijuana make your light uplift. Even though it compressed and tied down in a plastic. Don't deliver it and going up drastic. A barrel gun me bust and me and you know we can't stick. Me want change me zinc and put up the chroma stick. Tired receive Red Bull a straight hypnotic. So driver.
Yes, good morning. Welcome back to the program. You're into the second hour of the program here. Today is the 7th of April 2022. 7th of April 2022. Not the 7th, I'm so sorry. 11th of April 2022. And it is the anniversary of one of the most terrible and the first major incursion against the human rights of the people of Jamaica after the so-called independence. So-called independence. A fraud. A fraud if there ever was one. Because that was no independence, and the life in the country up to now, 60 years later, demonstrate that it is a fraud of an independence. And one of the first major assaults against the people of Jamaica rights was on the 11th of April 1963, just 8 months after Jamaica was supposed to be an independent country. Yes, so I'm going to start with some live chat, you know. Starting out with Taki Lemkwa. Morning, Bongo Jerry. Bess FM family and all aboard in the mix. Positive vibes as always. Respect. Next one, Al Kubalan say. Toronto in the building again. Pablo of Music say. Hi, Bongo Jerry. Morning to the Bess FM crew and all attentive listeners. Ethiopian World Federation update, please. Yeah, Irie. Yeah, when you update about that, maybe you, Pablo, can help us with that too. Keon Brown say Bongo Jerry Small rise up on this date. as RA has will for us, Ra has will for us to gather through the airwave of uplifting our spirit and well-being. Rastafari love continually. Dinette Albasco say greetings and salutation, Bongo Dare Small and all of the Best FM family. The things that are reason amongst us is very important to our understanding. The good things from the bad without hurting ourselves. Arlan Michelle say good morning to Bongo Dare Small and Best FM Radio. Sila. More life. Have a good week, Small. Thank you very much. Bob Cosmic say greetings to Big Brother Bongo Jerry and all the crew at Best FM, listeners and subscribers and those in the chat. Sister D. Ruben say greetings and blessful love. Ras Bongo Jerry and Best FM, family, woman abroad, Rastafari. Kayan Brown replied to Sister D. Ruben. I head to the call in Overland and see I a big guy. The Natal Basco say his passport picture was wet up. Okay. He produced his brutish driver's license, that means British. With his ailment, he died in Jamaica. In other words, the passport was damaged. They didn't want to admit him onto the plane by the passport. I think he's allowed to travel on his driver's license, but maybe not. Maybe it's only American citizens are allowed to travel on them driver's license. But he tried presenting his driver's license and they didn't accept it. And as this person say, as Dinatal Basco say, his ailment that he had already caused them to die in Jamaica while the passport probably was to be renewed. Donovan Islet said, Bongo Jerry, Small, Best FM 100 and massive listening up, thank you. Lance said, morning Jerry, this is in response to what Thompson was referring to. The man's passport was badly damaged and they couldn't verify if it was him based on his condition. Okay. Lance said he died as a result of him not being able to return to London to get his blood transfusion due to his sickle condition. You know, sickle cell, people who have sickle cells have to get a special type of blood, not very common type of blood. Dinatal Basco said, Lance, word brother, true word brother, same so. Delroy Henry said, greetings Bongo there, may your day be filled with peace and blessing. Monday shout out, Jalov. Kean Brown said, bless me Ikes. Bongo there small in request. Bongo man Byfield. Marcus Garvey, thanks I. Or maybe we can play that. Kevin Max said, good rising. Please play Call a Taxi for me. I ain't come okay. The Natal Basco said, Peter Touch, what you gonna do? Highlighting the injustices, corruption, and brutality. Them went through for herbs, hijacked by capitalists. Okay. 3 music requested here. I don't get no time for write it down. I want to get to the telephone now. So please forgive me if I don't get to write down right now. Let's get to the telephone. Good morning. Welcome. Good morning and welcome to the program. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here again.
Welcome.
This couple points we have. The next thing is, when it comes to 1963, right? The thing that happened, the genocide, right? I agree with my estimation. I assume it to be attempted genocide.
Well, I don't know if I would put it as far as genocide. How do you term genocide?
An attempt to eradicate a whole group of people.
Okay.
And what I see happened there, it was an attempt to eradicate the Rastas out of the country.
Yeah, it was an attempt to crush the movement, yes.
Okay.
There were several attempts. There were several attempts before, but this one, they tried to drum up support from the general population for weeks. Through politicians.
That's what I was asking, if it was the first attempt or they had attempts to do.
No, they attempted to do so several times from the 30s through the 40s, the 50s. And then now at the beginning of the 60s, not the beginning, at the beginning of the 60s it reached a peak where several Rastafari were arrested, tried for treason and all different kind of thing, and several others were persecuted, and eventually a couple of people were executed in connection with the Claudius Henry organization, 1960 to 61, between 59 and 61. And then after independence, this was the first big move, 8 months after the so-called independence of Jamaica. First big move.
Oh, I always hear the name Claudius Henry, but I never know exactly what was the event with that.
No, Claudius Henry was a Jamaican-born man who was supporter of the Ethiopian movement, the Ethiopian liberation movement from in the 1930s. He migrated to America either in the late 40s or the early 50s. When he was in America, he got involved in the Ethiopian World Federation, and him also used to have a church. So when he came back to Jamaica, he was known as Reverend Claudius Henry, which is not a usual title that people associated with Rastafari have, but he was a Rastafari. And then him joined with some other Rastafari, especially Prince Emmanuel Edwards in 1958, to attempt to gather most of the Rastafari organizations in having a convention. That convention, it got quite a big attendance, but it was broken up by the police who beat and persecuted a lot of people in 1958. And then 1958, late in 58 coming into 59, him start to organize more militantly and to train and warn the people that this might take a physical struggle and they must try to hurry up and come out of Jamaica and go to Ethiopia. But in the meantime, he was charged by the government for, like collecting money under false pretenses and various other charges until they got to the stage where they decided to charge him with treason. Then some of his sons came to Jamaica. At least one of his sons with some friends, black Americans, came to Jamaica from America to help the father in the militant side of the organization, training people in militant capabilities and in how to handle firearms and do other things, because right beside us in Cuba, a revolution had just been successful, so they were thinking of, say, maybe we have to take it like how Castro take it, and the government came down upon them after them lock up him father in 59. Them hail him son and the other military guys who had experience in the American army. Them hail him son and some more of them and put them on trial and charge them for some murders that they had committed, and eventually execute about 3 of them. So that is Claudius Henry in a nutshell.
Okay. All right. What I really wanted to say, I called you. I was trying to get back to you on, was it Thursday, to say that I don't want to be misunderstood, and I was not advocating for persecution without prosecution,
What were we talking about again?
Yes, I was the one who said about the guillotine, and I'm saying advocating for prosecution without persecution without prosecution.
Yeah, but when you state things in that way, that we should take a guillotine and put it nearby to the entrance of this office and that office and then investigate them, it sounds like an immediate and rushed coming to judgment, what they call a rush to judgment, Not only a rush to judgment, but a rush to execution. And that is one of the main reasons why many people around the world oppose the death penalty, because many people have been sentenced to death after being rushed through a trial when everything was not investigated, and because of that, sometimes after these executions it is found that the person did not get a proper chance either to defend themselves, or there was not enough time given for all of or more of the facts to come out, and some of these facts might demonstrate that the person is not to be executed. You understand?
Okay.
You heard of the case recently where the QC lady represented a client who was under threat of death penalty for more than a decade or a couple decades? You heard about it?
Recently, no, I haven't heard about it.
Yes, a policeman was charged for murder of his female partner, who even I think she had a couple children for him. It is thought that the female partner used a gun to commit suicide in her bathroom at her parents' house. But the policeman must have been in the area and was charged now, says not a suicide, is him kill her. Although he had always been protesting that is not him kill her, is she commit suicide in the bathroom. Yeah, he was convicted and must say was to face death and was in prison for years or under suspicion for years, and eventually his lawyer appealed to the Privy Council in England, and the Privy Council in England investigated and tried the thing more thoroughly and brought in some experts who some experts testified that how the body was found, the body of the woman, and how it was in the bathroom against the door. If somebody was inside there with her and killed her, they would have sustained some blood stains on them clothes because the bathroom was so small, and they wouldn't have been able to pass her and get through the door where she lean up against and come out of the bathroom without some other visible signs of leaving out there. And all those evidence was brought together, and the verdict of the Privy Council was that it was clear that it was not a murder, and it was all other signs point to it being a suicide. So there have been quite a number of cases over the years where people have been, after they have been executed, that it has been demonstrated that they were not guilty, and that's the whole danger. Remember, you know, execution and capital punishment is a form of punishment where
there is no redress though.
There is no way to correct a bad decision after it's made, because kill the person. Not like you have them in prison and then you say, okay, I'm going to let you out and pay you back 100 million for the false arrest. So because it is so final where your life going to be taken from your body, it's supposed to be thoroughly unproven, way beyond any doubt. And many times in Jamaica, people are convicted when it has not been demonstrated that there can be no doubt about them guiltiness.
Okay, well, the reason why people, I think that I came to that conclusion is when I look at what happened down by the Ministry of Education there, you know, after the man in prison, them get so much money to thief, them go back again and pay him more money out of the little bit of money that is there to educate the children, them, you know. In my estimation, I feel like if he...
Alright, before you go further, please do not call any name or get any more specific about what you're talking about.
No man, I'm not going to call any name, man.
Yeah, especially since we already went through the guillotine argument and retraction.
Yes. I'm saying if he knew that...
Yeah, don't repeat that part there. Just continue. Don't repeat what you did say earlier.
Yes, if he knew that there was a drastic punishment for his action, I doubt he would have done it.
Yeah, so therefore you are saying drastic punishment is the best prevention of crime?
Not all crimes, but certain type of crimes.
So drastic punishment prevents which crime? Which kind of crime?
Especially the corruption that is in politics, the thieving of the money that is to run the...
Alright, okay, stop this up. So you said drastic punishment will prevent and cut down corruption to a minimum?
Yes.
Alright. Now we can reason about that and debate that, because you know that the human being have a capacity for gambling?
Yes, I know.
Alright, don't give me a long answer. Tell me yes or no. You know that the human being in general have a capacity for gambling?
Yes.
Taking a chance?
Yes.
And what is the main stimulant for people to take a chance?
Especially if they know they can get away with it.
Yeah, that is one main stimulant, if they can get away with it. But a bigger stimulant is the benefit that can be had, not true?
Yes.
So if the benefit that can be had is really huge, people will be stimulated to say, what the hell? Me I go for it. You never hear people all up in a stand in a football match. No say. The guy might have run over the line before him reach the ball, But he might run down the ball to see if he can lick it before it go out of play. And you hear people say, go for it, boy. And I encourage him. And him get some more energy. Sometimes him not make it, right? But when him hear them shouting in the stand, say, go for it. And when him can imagine if him ever go catch the ball and go turn it in and it score. You can imagine the amount of noise, 14 times that amount of noise where I say, go for it. When go say, yes, boy, you do it, you understand?
Yeah,
so the stimulant of the reward, if it is even much higher or fantastically high, Don't believe say if a man a go get $1 billion by thieving in a government office. Execute, not even execution now stop some people from go for it, boy, because $1 billion, what the hell me I go for it? You ever hear about the slogan where some people have said, boy, get rich or die trying?
Yes, yes, yes.
And then my next one say, something about get rich or die young. What? No, live fast and die young.
Yes.
A lot of people
make them. A lot of these young people these days.
Not only these young people, not only these young people, and not only young people. We can stigmatize these days like them worse than any other time, and we can stigmatize young people like them more craven than old people. Old people, young people, these time and ancient time, people take some wicked chance and say, yeah, hear me now. I take the chance now, my business guy say. Cause after me get the money, I go to Venezuela, go do some plastic surgery, and nobody now gonna know me. I'm gonna bleach my face though. You know much guys do them thing there? And get through, and some not get through. Man bleach face, man take all sex change, you know that?
They hide when them.
Yes, man, when them in a prison, then go and practice before they take the sex change, to see if they can live with the sex change. You don't know, then go and take some chance in there.
I don't know when it comes to
I only hear, I don't know. I'm not talking from the first hand. I'm not talking from the first hand knowledge. Free cigarette and all them way. If I not get through, at least I get told for free cigarette, you know. You have some guy calculate them way, you know. Nicotine stain up in mouth.
Because
come out of prison half pregnant.
Up to the how them are to the ministry, them and how them are. The money not even enough. The education.
Yes, but extremity. I believe that it has been demonstrated that extremity of punishment is not a sufficient deterrent to make people cut down from crime, whether soft crime or hard crime. I believe that the likelihood of being caught and being put through the process is one of the greatest deterrent. When people know say 85% of the time you do the thing, you're going to get caught, you're going to go up on trial, and you're going to get sentenced. That deter people more than even death or some big lick. You know? I see a video where they, I don't know if I hold up the time. We have no more call of that? Eh? Sorry about that. We have to go now because we give one and a half time and time. You can't call back still now.
No problem, no problem.
Well, thank you very much, Lisa. Next call. Good morning, welcome. Anybody else there? Somebody else there? Good morning, welcome. I see it, you know. Go over the time. But the numbers are 619-1508, 619-1508, and 279-8473, 279-8473. Yeah, if you have a justice system in our country, where like Pride last night, if the farmer them in our district organize that it anybody hardly ever go in there and thief any food, thief any crop, thief any goat and get away. Hardly. That will more prevent people from go thief food. That will more prevent people from thief food and thief goat more than making 20 years be the penalty for thieving goat, but half of the time the people don't get caught. When you have a justice system where you're going to get caught, most likely you're going to get caught, and people going to come forward, come give evidence. Our next call, good morning, welcome. Sorry about anybody losing them calling time. Good morning and welcome to the program. Are you there?
Morning.
Morning, welcome.
How are you, Mr. Jerry?
Fine, thank you. Go ahead, please. Stop listening to your radio.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yesterday was the anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic.
Sinking of the Titanic. And tell the people what was the Titanic.
I don't quite remember everything, but I know yesterday was the anniversary.
What was the Titanic?
This ship that was the largest ship that saved that thing on the ocean.
I don't know if it was the largest one, but it was built with so much precaution, safety precaution, that there were boats in that the ship can't sink.
Oh, yes, sir.
And I think it was a maiden voyage. You know maiden voyage?
Yes, sir.
Maiden voyage hour.
The first outing.
First what?
Outing.
Yeah, the first time the boat I carry people on a trip.
Yes, sir.
And the boat, and it was a big trip, you know, because it's an extra safe ship. That means it's expensive for bill. And
Yes,
that
sir.
means when you buy a ticket for go up on the ship, it costs plenty more than if you go up on a ferry go to Port Royal.
Yes,
So it's mostly, I was mostly money people up on it. And people go up on honeymoon.
Yeah, all heap of food, all heap of bashment, everything.
All the power?
All heap of enjoyment and bashment, you call it.
Yeah. That don't mean so we're glad when the ship sink with all the money people now.
No.
Yeah, and that, you know.
Later calling was to remind that yesterday was the anniversary of this.
Yes, what was the year it sink again?
I don't quite remember the year, but I know
I think early in the century, you know. Early in the century, probably before the World War was start 1914.
Before what? 1914?
I think it's before the World War was started in 1914. Probably about 1912, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Then how the ship did sink?
It run into iceberg and the
them sail it up through the somewhere up in the North Pole area there.
Yes,
because you know say it's only mostly money people can afford to take trip with the boat to go drive all through iceberg and make a sightseeing, you know?
Yes, sir.
Poor people can afford them trip there. And trip where plane I go fly over Mount Everest and the pilot go say, okay, look through the left window them and you will see Mount Everest and them fly go back around and go say Niagara Fall over there.
Yeah.
You pay enough money to get them tripping out because the plane a twist and turn and I go all about and I burn more gas.
Yes,
and I like when taxi. And I like when you're going in a taxi and one eagle said to the driver, said, give me one turn off. How much of that? I'm said $2 bills. And just swing the car gone up so I him say nothing to the rest of the passenger. And if you say to him, so yeah, turn off the route, him say, yeah, hear me now, you think your $100 can pay me, and him start a face still there and them with it. And them kind of trip, you pay enough money go up on the trip. So them sail up through the iceberg and I show them iceberg, you know?
Mr. Jerry?
Yeah.
We could finish. You could tell us a little bit more about him, but we could finish now. Calling from Parliamentary talking to
you. You think you can get all them kind of talking for little low credit and tell about luxury, you know? I tell you if you go look for iceberg, it costs more, you know? You want to hear about iceberg, you have to buy more credit, man.
Alright,
you think I saw water finding way go pumpkin belly? Look for that for me for pumpkin belly, ten us. I'm thinking
alright.
What is it, sir? Yeah, laugh. Yeah, laugh is cheap. And then claims the talk cheap, it's not supposed to be so cheap. You want more call? We have some more live chat. But anyway, the numbers are 619-1508, 619-1508 and 279-8473. 279-8473. I think we have a call now, but if you don't have a call, we have some live chat to call.
I need to speak to Bongo.
Well, go on. Good morning.
473. Good morning, Bongo. Let me turn off the radio.
All right. Are the blind man this?
Yes.
Oh, you talk so fast.
I'm sorry. It's that dog.
No, you're not sorry. I'm not crying.
I just Googled it a while ago, and he said, I don't know why he said the Titanic sank on April 14, 1912, so I don't know. I just Googled it a while ago.
Okay, that's great. You're right. Yeah, I'm glad you straightened out that blind man, yeah.
Yeah, I Googled it. Okay, that's it. Bye-bye.
That's good, man. Thank you very much for that call. Oh, you.
All right, no problem.
April 11 or 12?
It said, I know it's 1912, but I don't understand what Google is telling me.
Yeah, I think I April 11. All right, one of them, nearby or something.
Yeah, but I know it's April 12. I mean 1912, sorry. I swear it's 1912.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay, bye.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir. We have more calls?
Okay.
Next one. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Jerry.
Welcome.
Yeah, man. Pleasant. Good morning, man.
Are you taxi man this?
Yeah, man, a street man.
A taxi man?
No, man, a street man, man.
On a 63%.
Yeah, man. But I could tell me no call, you know.
You're going like a conjugal, man. Me see your passport last
No,
time.
man. A street man, and a taxi man.
Yeah, this guy's again. Street man. You change your name.
No, man. I see my Clarendon Clarendon all the way, man.
You talk too fast, sir.
I mean, I was Clarendon all the way, man. Clarendon.
Oh, all right. Cool, now go on.
Yeah, man. I was call all the way, man, but I could tell me no call.
Yeah.
Yeah, me just want to comment on 2 East here, you know, as an ordinary man in the street, you know.
Yes, sir.
Me hear the Prime Minister make a comment just recently, over the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, some groundbreaking thing they do, a little bit of Westmoreland there.
Yeah.
And him say know where the gun them coming from.
Yeah.
And who was saying they gun them, yeah, so he said they have them. And he soon take them down.
Him have what?
Hold
on, him have what?
Him say him know who was selling the guns in the country.
Yeah.
The guns are coming in.
Yeah.
He say he know who behind it.
Yeah.
And he soon take them down.
Yeah.
So when I wait on, if you have the money, know them. You understand? When I wait on, because already people are dead. So I'm wait on.
You're going to wait till when it suit him?
That may I say. Because if him say him know who them, and him know who was selling them or whatever, and him soon deal with it. So this is emergency, so deal with it, man, deal with it, no worry wait.
No, you want him deal with it, no, can't do when you want him deal with it.
No, but people dying every day, every day going to fire, and him say him know who was selling them.
You're no Prime Minister die? Hello, you're no Prime Minister die?
No, sir.
You're no Prime Minister wife die?
No, sir.
You're Prime Minister Pickney dead?
No, sir.
You're Prime Minister Driver dead?
No, sir.
Then why you kill up yourself about?
Man, well, no, but you say, other brilliant people out here, this is in the country are dead, so we're concerned still.
Hey.
You know, concerned. And
but the man on nobody.
Maybe my youth, anything came to my family to see him here, so I'm concerned still.
Then you're brown?
No, I'm not brown.
Eh?
I'm brown. No, I'm not brown.
Your nose big? Nobody.
No, sir.
There you
are ordinary black man in the street still.
Ordinary black man?
On the street, So I'm concerned, So I'm just concerned, say, if him have them, I know who. I send them in, and he know who I receive them. Take them down, man, and wait.
Hey, what's the next point?
The next point now. The recommendation of Kamina Jackson Smith, public speaker in the House, recommended for her to be leader CARICOM.
No, not leader CARICOM. What?
To be some CARICOM representative.
No, CARICOM. A carry go bring come, a Commonwealth.
Yes.
And a leader.
Yes.
A Secretary General.
Secretary General.
What Secretary General do?
Huh?
What Secretary General do?
Secretary General.
What Secretary do?
Secretary from come and understand it, them take like minutes and whatever.
Take minutes, yeah. And keep secret. Secretary take minutes and keep secret, and if boss say if you sit down for me knee.
And keep record.
No, she knows if she will lock the door first, you idiot. If secretary no knows that them will lock the door first. You forgot keep secretary like that. You know, so them intelligent, them qualified.
Yes.
So that a chambermaid.
Okay.
You know what chambermaid do?
Chambermaid, for me come and understand it. Them do the clean up work, so the place tidy up and
yes, after. Them do the after work.
After work.
Carry out chimney. A chamber, chimney a chamber, you know.
Yes.
You know, carry out chimney empty, you know. When I hire people, what me I go hire people for carry out empty chimney?
Anyway, yes.
Hello, sir.
Anyway,
the Queen Privy. You know Privy Council?
Privy Council.
Yeah.
You know we have
Privy Council is what?
Council is one that, from a common understanding, them decide on certain issues, you know.
No, man. It's Privy Council, like Queen Toilet.
Privy Council.
Or that you call Privy, no?
Okay,
you never go England yet?
Private.
You never go England?
Private.
You say if you never go England yet?
No.
A Privy, them call it Toilet in England.
Okay, but we know we have a code that when we don't get a...
So it's an honor. It's an honor for a be the doorkeeper or even work inside the Queen privy, you know. Because not even toilet paper, the Queen not tear off toilet paper for yourself, you know.
Okay.
The only thing she do for herself is let out. And then when she ready, you know, she lift up. And then the privy council them now tear off the toilet paper and them and clean up and thing, and then Queen come out. She not even flush it herself.
All right, sir. Anyway, the point I want to make, in my humble opinion, I don't think she is for that job, because reason being, I think she have an attitude problem and a discipline problem.
What
attitude problem and a discipline problem. The reason for me saying that is that on a number of occasions, when a particular member of the opposite, of the opposition party get up in the parliament to talk, she take up her bag and walk out.
Anytime who get up for talk? Anytime who talk, she get up and walk out?
I remember the opposition party.
Which one?
To be honest, I believe is thing there. The Ethan Campbell. I'm not sure, but one of them she took her bag and walk out.
Yes, why she walk out?
Eh?
Why she walk out?
She walk out because he made some comment sometime in the past about, you know, pretending to her.
Yeah.
You understand? And she was upset about it.
Yes.
So whenever I get to talk, she took her bag and walk out.
And what that do? That do?
I believe that as a Prime Minister.
No, what that do when she get up and walk out? What that do?
I deem it to be an indiscipline act.
No, yes, okay. But she get up and walk out is an insult, you know?
Yes, right so.
So she know what she do. She do that for insult.
Right so.
Because that one did hurt her feeling. Yeah, because dating Campbell want to face the man, you know?
Yes.
You face the man from both sides, you know? Dayton Campbell is the Warmington of the PNP. Don't you know that?
Yeah, because them sometimes them go over the board.
Yeah, man, Dayton Campbell will cost all them on PNP, you know?
Yes, that's what I said, go over the board.
Even woman too, even PNP woman, he might like take off them clothes, you know? When I said take off them clothes, I don't mean literally take off them clothes, but, you know? I'm not afraid. Remember same tell Lisa and said she a labor right girl.
Okay.
Because she come from JLP going to PNP, you know? And him don't forget. Him is a doctor,
likewise, Warmington too. Likewise, as you mentioned, Warmington too is a man who outspoken too.
You know outspoken. Yeah, Warmington a pit bull.
Alright, sir. Alright. He back and bite.
Yeah, him out biting.
Alright, sir. So, what? The point I want to say that if the Prime Minister...
Yes, so alright, just say about discipline problem, attitude problem, and discipline problem. Okay.
Yes. So where would the Prime Minister support a appointment? You understand?
Because the two of them are two brown people.
But me really wonder if he has spoken to her about attitude problem and discipline problem. If he spoken to her about it.
Spoken to her about it, then him not have attitude problem. Hold on there. You hear me say? Him not have attitude problem. Answer
yes, what attitude problem is?
Him not have discipline problem.
Yeah.
Oh. The other day when them people them a palaver and a gallivant and during the COVID day, him not going to the parliament come back the people of Jamaica and say, alright, charge them $100,000. And you Babs collect the money and put it to somewhere the cause. And Babs going to take it go put on a show for the Duke and the Duchess down at Trench Town. And them in the parliament, them mock the people of Jamaica. Hold on, them a charge the people of Jamaica $300,000 for violate COVID, you know? You don't remember, say? A $300,000 some little poor woman get charged, you know?
Yeah.
You remember the woman pastor?
Yeah, man, do I say
with them charge $300,000 and two our member of congregation, them charge $300,000 each. $1 million that, you know? 3 church member pay $1 million because the government said them too facing. And when the minister them do that now, him laugh it off and mock out the people of Jamaica in the parliament and tell them what to look like him as the judge. And the one of them knock the desk and laugh after the people of Jamaica.
I know for him to impose a fine.
Alright, so therefore him not have discipline problem.
Yeah, me see point.
Hold on, him never give 3 senator them letter for sign when I have on a date. Eh?
Yeah.
Then if a man get some of him colleague letter for sign, we do have on a date. And you know what the letter say?
No, inform me, I call it now.
The letter say, I am leaving this job right now. Fire me.
Okay.
So him give him friend that, him give him appoint him friend him to a job. And then him give them and then them have to write a letter say them resign. And no date not the point, you know. So anytime him want to fire them, him just put on a date on the letter and say, yes, the man give me. That time I was 4 years before. 4 years before the man signed and give me now.
Okay, sir.
And him left the undated so that anytime a man we can cook up that. A man we can cook up that, you see? Where else him can cook up? And
right.
someone tell me.
What you're saying there.
No, I don't say nothing. And tell me something where. Tell me something where a man like that couldn't cook up.
Alright.
A man like that couldn't cook alligator. And make it taste good. Eh?
So him not going to talk to me just
Me say if a man like that couldn't cook crocodile and get I don't know say a crocodile. Eh?
Yeah. I hear you.
Alright, well a man like that now go have a Kamina Johnson as one of them chief people.
Oh. So she go and continue to walk out of Parliament then?
Then if him so brazen. Him want other brazen people with him.
Okay, well, all right. You know, she don't really feel a job there, though. She don't really feel a job there.
Then him ready, the job where him are doing, him ready for it?
She not ready for it, man.
I say if him ready for the job where him have there.
No, I'm not ready for it.
All right, thank you very much. Call again soon, yeah?
All right, cool. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir? We have any more calls? All right. Now, watch your time enough, because that phone call go over the time. But anyway. Yes, let's see if we get back to some live chat, you know. Next one. Kev Max said, good rising, please play Call a Taxi. Oh, that was the last one. Denate Albasa said, Peter Touch, what you gonna do? Highlight the injustice and corruption and brutality them went through for her, hijacked by capitalists. Denate Albasa said, 1976 political violence in the city west end, the bombing in Jonestown, Raymond Jungle War, soldiers trimmed at a Rasta, locks was scattered on the sidewalk. Or this person talking about the 70s. Del Ryan said, Bongo, there is strength and contentment. Come only through continuous effort and struggles. Keep up your good work. Much appreciated, Mr. Smart. SFM love to the world. Jamaica love. Sister D. Ruben said, that is why I do not support capital punishment. Malicious persecution and prosecution has been used to murder many innocent melanated people, that mean black people. With a country as corrupted and colorist as Jamaica, it would be detrimental. We have a call here? Alright, we'll soon get back to the live chat. Good morning, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Morris.
Hey, Miss Thompson, what?
Yeah, but with the cooking of the alligator, you know, people would have to go man, then go get wanga goat. You know,
wanga goat.
No wanga belly.
Alright.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, one of what the blind teacher, one of what he did.
Yeah.
Enlightened and, you know, I never really know that part. When he did say, referring to the shipment of vaccine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he did have to correct someone. Say it's not at the wharf, it is coming.
Oh, yes. Because him said the vessel. Him said the person must have there said the vessel come in. And because them here say a vessel, them think a wharf.
Right.
But a plane it come back.
You know, that was one of the things he enlightened me with, and I said, boy, I have to make a note of it.
Yes.
You know, because I believe it was at the wharf, and they were saying the shipment.
Yes.
And he corrects someone that is not at the wharf, because when people hear about shipment, most people believe they walk the thing going.
Yes, I want to tell you, say, no vessel, him say, no. Him say, the person said the shipment come in.
Yes.
The shipment come in, true.
You know.
Yeah, man, we learn all kind of ways. What you say again, ma'am?
Yes. It was said, God give the rain to the just and the unjust.
Oh, the rain that fall from the sky, yes. It fall from
right.
Yes.
And Water Commission, they are about doing locking out because they are saying where the dam is low and this and that.
Yeah.
And they're announcing, but God give us some blessings.
Yesterday it looked like there was a widespread rain. Well, at least in the corporate area where I spend most of the day. All over. And it fall at different time of the day. But I wonder how wide it was over the country. It might have been island, right? I don't know.
Yeah. And it looked like more is going to come, so.
Yeah.
We just have to, because they were saying from 6 till 6 or what have you.
From 6 in the morning till 6 in the evening.
And Water Commission say water is life, but they don't know what is life because, right now they're billing me for 1 month, but I don't go them far.
Yeah.
And I have to go up there from January to now, carry all the bills. And they can talk about last year, that's 2021.
Yeah.
Because I would ask them how come they managed to make it come almost 4 months later.
Yeah.
And they never collect. So I'm going up there with January till April.
Some terrible pressure them a put on people with all false reading and water bill. One day about 15 years ago or more, go to Water Commission and go see one of my sisters sit down in the complaint department. Me go there too. Let me check her what go on with she. Must about something like $8 million. Them say come on our bill. And that's another 2 months now. That bill shouldn't even go out. The person who type up that bill supposed to say, no, something wrong, and go to them supervisor and talk to them about it. Them send out the bill, and when the woman not pay the $8 million, them lock off the water like a normal bill that and you not pay the $8 million, you use $8 million water, and pay or lock off. Them send man go lock off.
Imagine. They're a wicked man.
And it's worse now. It's worse now than that 15 years ago when we said that up. It's worse now.
Yes, it's getting worse, yes.
Because remember, them handing over the Water Commission to private one,
Okay.
Say.
And the tricks, they don't say no bill reminder that you can pay on it or take it and go pay.
Yeah, them have a clause. Them have some clause in them contract say, if you don't even get a bill, and you pay your bill late, them still can cut off your water because them not obligated to send a bill and you must come check out. You must come
check. Yeah. So if when them say you pay the bill and you pay it a little later because can't owe your money because they must set the date like they must give you the money. And, the end of the month don't finish. And then put on the 250 on it. And that not satisfy them. Them still go further and go deeper. So they don't know what is life, what water is like. They have to wheel and come again and go back to, So I don't know who them talking or trying to fool. Yes. Anyway, sir, thank you for
Thank you very much, yeah.
Yes.
I'll go back to some live chat now. The numbers again are 619-1508, 619-1508, and 279-8473. 279-8473. Let me see now. Yeah. Where it is now. Delroy Henry said, Bongo, my belief is truth is a continuous examination of facts. Always supersede belief. Master teacher, you're a master at what you do. Keep up a good work. You're not alone. Jamaica love. I think we read that already. Sister D said to Kian Brown, bless up yourself, vibrator. The vibrations for forward home will light in the call and till such time also make the same transit home. Greatness, I brother. Leroy Brown said, the Titanic sunk on April 14th, not today 11th. Apparently not today the 11th of April date, but April 14th. That would be Thursday date coming. 1912. Alright, Kean Brown said, blessed Jerry, big youth 10 against 1 highlight the time in 1976 and the police brutality. Oh, this one could full up more. Police brutality and savagely attack on Rastas. A schoolboy saw soldiers use bayonet to trim them on Spanish Town Road. Simeon Pingent, Bongo Jerry, blessed love to you and all and loved ones. This music for the people, Bongo, Lucky Dub or Lucky Dube. Different color, one people, or different color, one people. It's for love. We are the ones all people come from. Christopher Melbourne said, greetings, Bongo Jerry, and Bess FM massive. Jerry, who is Ras Seymour McLean? Seymour McLean is a Rastaman in England way back in our years. Was it the 60s or it was the 70s? I think it was the 70s. Who learned a lot about the history of Africa and Ethiopia. There were some other things he did before, but the thing that he's most well known for, he found out that how much the British had been stealing all kind of precious things out of Ethiopia and carried them out and having at the British Museum and in the British libraries. And he started to go into the libraries and museums systematically. I don't know how he managed to do it. And smuggle out a lot of those books and make some of them reach back to Ethiopia. I hear says thousands of books him get out of them, and then afterwards I think he was held and tried. I don't know if he was in prison. Somebody remind me whether he was in prison and then got out, but I remember him being held, arrested. Seymour McLean. I think I heard on Cabo program recently somebody was giving some history about him too. Yeah, Simeon Pidgeon say, Ras Seymour is a Jamaican hero, brother. Mastermind. Okay. We have no more call here? Alright, let's play the piece of music here now. Back for the daughter. Isn't she lovely? I don't know if she's listening. Somebody tell Shamiel Smith, whose birthday was on Saturday, that we wish her a happy birthday, belated as the wishes are. Let's play it back for her. Yes, we're going to play that, but we have Beautiful Weekend though. Let's go and download the music there. We have Beautiful Weekend? Alright, let's play a piece of Beautiful Weekend. We'll come back, we'll play back for Shamiel Smith. Isn't she lovely? Beautiful weekend, because the weekend was beautiful for her.
Beautiful weekend with you.
Bess FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever met. You're simply the best.
Bess FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Good day, I'm Anthony Morgan with JIS Midday News for Monday, April 11. Coming up, Jamaica to welcome President of Rwanda this week. Health Ministry urging SIDS to collaborate on climate resilience health systems, and JANAC seeking FDA certification. The news in detail after the break.
NIS pensioners. Early encashment continues. Any pension order voucher with a payable date in April 2022 may be encashed as of Thursday, April 7. Collect your April payments at your convenience. Simply visit your designated post office. Pension vouchers can only be encashed at post offices. A message from the Ministry of Labour and Social Security.
Now the news. Jamaica will this Wednesday welcome the President of the Republic of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, for a state visit. A release from the Office of the Prime Minister Friday said the President will visit the island from April 13 to 15, a few years after the initial invitation was extended by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Speaking in the House of Representatives recently, Mr. Holness said the trip was delayed due to the onset of COVID-19.
In 2019, I invited President Kagame to visit in April of 2020. However, the pandemic delayed these plans, which were revived in September last year for the President to visit Jamaica Wednesday.
The release also points out that the visit represents an important opportunity for the deepening of bilateral relations between Jamaica and the African Republic and reinforces the growing relationship between the continent and the CARICOM region. In the meantime, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has underscored that the upcoming visit by the Rwandan President Paul Kagame is unrelated to Jamaica's bid for the post of Commonwealth Secretary General. Mr. Holness says no attempt will be made to influence the position of Mr. Kagame, who is scheduled to take a leading role in the Commonwealth this year.
President Kagame will be the incoming chairman in office of the Commonwealth Conference of Heads of State and Government for the coming 2 years. Jamaica is mindful of the importance of not compromising its neutrality in that capacity, and will therefore not include the issue of Minister Johnson Smith's candidature on the agenda of our bilateral discussions.
The chair in office of the Commonwealth of Nations is one of the main leadership positions in the Commonwealth. It's held by the host chairperson of the previous heads of government meeting, CHOGM, and is maintained until the next gathering, which usually takes place 2 years later. This means Rwanda will host the next CHOGM, scheduled for June this year. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton has called on fellow small island developing states, SIDS, to collaborate in developing climate-resilient health systems across the region. The minister made the call recently during a World Health Day forum hosted by the Pan-American Health Organization, PAHO. He says the recent experience of COVID-19 is indicative of the progress that can be made in public health response, noting that the same approach must be applied to boost health system operations in the region to achieve transformational and resilient systems.
The health impact of climate change make most compelling case for the comprehensive and collaborative push to achieve a climate resilient health system. For Caribbean SIDS, each island must take action, and we must take action together as a region to combat climate change.
Dr. Tufton says in addition to building on gains made, countries must look at other areas for scaled-up investment in support of climate action and toward climate resilience in health. These include waste management, transportation, renewable energy solutions, infrastructure resilience, and information management systems. And the Jamaica National Agency for Accreditation, JANAC, is seeking to participate in the United States Food and Drug Administration FDA accredited third-party certification program. Chief Executive Officer of JANAC, Sharon May Shirley, says this will authorize the agency to accredit certification bodies that conduct food safety audits and issue certifications of foreign food facilities. Mrs. Shirley notes that JANAC will be the 5th agency globally to have received acceptance into the program.
This program will allow for our manufacturers to participate in the voluntary qualified importer program, where an importer in the state can identify an entity in Jamaica, and the products coming out of the local manufacturers will be accepted without the detailed inspection that is normally required by the FDA, because they would have been attested in Jamaica by an entity that is accredited by JANAC.
Mrs. Shirley says the team at the agency is excited about the impact the move will have for local manufacturers, especially those that produce goods with a short shelf life. That was JIS News. I'm Anthony Morgan.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Hello, this is Julie Candler with the BBC News. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russia's siege of Mariupol has destroyed the city and is likely to have killed tens of thousands of people. In his latest address to a foreign parliament, President Zelensky told politicians in South Korea of desperate conditions in Mariupol as Russia concentrated forces for a new offensive in the area. He urged foreign powers to send new weapons.
Надати необхідну зброю Україні означає
Providing the necessary weapons to Ukraine means not only saving the lives of our people, not only giving us the opportunity to free our cities, in particular our long-suffering Mariupol, but also saving other states and other regions from further deployment of Russian aggression.
Austria's Chancellor Karl Nehammer has held talks with President Putin at his residence outside Moscow, the first EU leader to do so since the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Bethany Bell reports from Vienna.
In a statement, Mr. Nehammer said his conversation with President Putin had been very direct, open and tough. This was not a friendly meeting, he said. Mr. Nehammer stressed that his most important message to Mr. Putin was that the war must end, because in a war there are only losers on both sides. He told Mr. Putin that the sanctions against Russia should remain in place and be intensified as long as people were dying in Ukraine. Mr. Nehammer called for humanitarian corridors to supply water and food to besieged cities and bring out women, children and the injured.
Pakistan's parliament has chosen Shehbaz Sharif as the new Prime Minister. Mr. Sharif, whose brother Nawaz held the same job for 3 terms, was selected at a chaotic session in Islamabad. Opposition MPs staged a walkout and announced they were resigning en masse. They were protesting against the removal of Imran Khan at the weekend. After the vote, Shehbaz Sharif accused the previous government of mismanaging the economy. UN officials in Somalia say 350,000 children are at risk of dying in the next few months as a result of the worst drought there in a decade. 1.4 million children are already severely malnourished, and the price of food and water is surging. Here's Mercy Juma.
The drought has forced dozens of schools to close, and there are reports of children being married off early as parents cannot afford to feed them. In some of the worst affected areas in the southwest of Somalia, I saw carcasses of animals strewn across the countryside, a catastrophic development as so many people earn their living by raising and selling animals. The rivers are dried up, and in the hospitals, the wards are full of children suffering from acute diarrhea, measles and malnutrition. Most of them weigh half of what their weight should be.
World News from the BBC. The Sri Lankan Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said the country has reached a decisive juncture as protests continue over the government's handling of the economic crisis. Mr. Rajapaksa said the demonstrations were costing the country an opportunity to earn dollars. Thousands of people have gathered in Colombo calling for the Prime Minister and his brother, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, to stand down. They blame the government for the shortage of basic supplies like fuel and food caused by dwindling foreign exchange reserves. A court in London has found a 26-year-old follower of the Islamic State militant group guilty of the murder of a British MP. Ali Harbi Ali stabbed Sir David Amess to death in October last year. Matt Graveling reports.
The court heard how Ali Harbi Ali had been looking for a target for a number of years, focusing on MPs who had voted in favour of airstrikes against ISIS in Syria. He visited the home of Michael Gove 8 times and researched Dominic Raab and Jess Phillips before focusing on 69-year-old Sir David. He booked an appointment to see the MP for Southend West at a surgery on October 15th and proceeded to stab him 21 times. The court heard how Ali wanted to be shot and killed by police, but when unarmed officers arrived, he dropped the knife.
A UN Special Envoy, Hans Grunberg, has arrived in Yemen's rebel-held capital Sana'a for post-ceasefire talks with Houthi leaders. Each of the warring sides has accused the other of violating the 2-month UN brokered truce. Iranian-allied Houthi forces took control of Sana'a in late 2014, prompting intervention by a Saudi-led coalition. Researchers at Imperial College in London say a psychedelic drug compound found in so-called magic mushrooms may be beneficial to mental health. The study said patterns of negative brain activity in people with depression can be rigid, but after therapy using the drug psilocybin, they become more flexible. BBC News.
Live from NPR News, I'm Lakshmi Singh. The Biden administration is taking new steps to crack down on gun violence in this country, which includes new, tougher rules on homemade guns. And the president is expected to nominate Steve Dettelbach, a former federal prosecutor, to lead the charge as head of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Here's NPR's Kelsey Snell.
Senior White House officials say Biden will announce Dettelbach's nomination as part of a broader effort to combat an ongoing nationwide surge in gun violence. This is Biden's second nominee for the position. Biden was forced to withdraw his previous pick, Andrew Chipman, in the face of opposition from gun rights groups. The White House is touting Dettelbach's decades of experience as a prosecutor who worked to combat violent crime. Biden will also announce rules requiring background checks for anyone purchasing kits to make or build so-called ghost guns or firearms without a serial number. The rule would also require manufacturers to include serial numbers on all firearm kits. Kelsey Snell, NPR News, Washington.
Ukraine's prosecutor general says the bodies of more than 1,200 civilians have been recovered near the capital, Kyiv. NPR's Nathan Rott reports on the government's investigation into alleged war crimes.
Recovery efforts continue in the suburbs, cities, and towns outside of Kyiv. Bodies are being found and recovered from destroyed buildings and homes. They're being found in basements and in manholes. Russia's troops have fully left the Kyiv region, moving back over the border into Belarus and Russia. Ukraine is repositioning many of its troops to the east, but soldiers and officials NPR talked to say they are not leaving the capital undefended. There are lingering concerns that Russia could renew its attack on the region after being defeated there in the early weeks of its invasion. Nathan Rott, NPR News, Lviv.
The commander-in-chief of Ukraine's military reportedly says in a Facebook posting that troops are still holding the port city of Mariupol. Russia's intensified its offensive to claim the first major Ukrainian city since the invasion began in late February. Ukraine estimates thousands of civilians in Mariupol are still trapped with little to no clean water, food, or other life-saving supplies. President Biden's holding a virtual summit with the Prime Minister of India, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, also holding meetings today with their Indian counterparts. NPR's Lauren Frere reports the U.S. is trying to get India to side with the West against Russia's war in Ukraine.
Washington wants India, the world's biggest democracy, to condemn Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But India wants to stay neutral. It has friendly relations with Moscow and wants to keep buying Russian oil and weapons. Russia's foreign minister recently visited New Delhi and praised India for, quote, not being one-sided.
That's NPR's Lauren Frere reporting. This is NPR News. India's nuclear-armed rival across the border, Pakistan, is trying to restore political stability a day after Prime Minister Imran Khan was ousted. Today, Parliament voted to replace Khan with Shahbaz Sharif after members of Khan's party walked out. Sharif was the only contender. He is the younger brother of former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, whose tenure was marred by charges of corruption. The elder Sharif was convicted and jailed. Campaigning intensifies now in France as President Emmanuel Macron prepares to face far-right leader Marine Le Pen in a second-round runoff in 2 weeks. NPR's Eleanor Beardsley reports Sunday's first-round vote saw the further collapse of France's two traditional mainstream left and right parties.
The Conservative Party, founded by General Charles de Gaulle, and the Socialist Party of François Mitterrand were both below 5%. Analysts say the lines of the French political landscape have shifted, with three major blocs now: centrist, far left, and far right. Others say the divide is not so much left versus right, but sovereigntist versus globalist. Ahead of the April 24 runoff, both Le Pen and Macron will be looking to attract voters from the close third-place candidate, far-left leader Jean-Luc Mélenchon. He urged his supporters not to support Le Pen, but stopped short of endorsing Macron. Eleanor Beardsley, NPR News, Paris.
On Wall Street, the Nasdaq Composite Index is down 1.7%. The S&P's fallen more than 1%. The Dow is also down. This is NPR News.
This message comes from NPR sponsor Home Instead. When you become a Home Instead caregiver, you get a flexible schedule and personal benefits with a job that feels like home. Become a caregiver and make a difference. Apply at homeinstead.com/NPR.
We're committed to reducing the impact of disasters occurring in Jamaica. We're ever ready to assist you before, during, and after a disaster. But everybody have a role to play, so make we work together and follow the plan. Whether rich or poor or where you come from, hurricanes affect everyone, so be prepared. Prevention is better than cure. Be prepared. Listen to ADPEM.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
Hello?
Nadine?
Yeah?
Me just pick up one Maxfield Easterbun up by supermarket phone.
One Maxfield but nah go do.
Nadine, that is all I could afford.
Uncle Pat, Daddy and Jeffrey only eat bun back. And bun only come with front back and back. So where the next back I go come from?
If you want more Maxfield Easterbun, go up at the supermarket or check maxfieldbakery.com.
Yeah, I forgot send credit for put on service then.
Come on from my phone. Sure. Maxfield Easterbun, tweet to the max.
Make me your radio and turn me up when you feel low. This melody was meant for you. Sing along to my stereo.
Hey, my listening crew. This is your late afternoon companion to Chickaloo on your 100 FM dial. Make sure you tune in and turn up every Tuesdays from 5 until 7 p.m. for OTAWTL. That is on the ear with me, yours truly. A program that will leave you inspired, entertained, and informed. With great giveaways each week. Street Link, where we go in the streets to find out from the people what is hot and what is not, and so much more. And guess what? You can now voice your birthday shout-outs on our WhatsApp line at 876-438-9442, and we'll play them live on air. So what are you waiting for? Turn up Tuesdays from 5 to 7 p.m. right here on Best 100 FM, the station that is sizzling every day.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
1, 2, 3, believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
Vijam Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Vijam Printers, your best choice in printing.
Youths, are you stressed? Are you faced with trauma? Well, this is the program for you. Join Royton McLaren for Youth Resilience and Empowerment every Monday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. on Best 100.5 FM.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is your radio pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Best 100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
Half a tree. One already, 200. Ready, mama? Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
Just pay your dues, my friend. Take my medical news. Oh, doctor, come to meet my patient. Oh, doctor, come to meet my patient. Oh, doctor.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
I want you carry this on the road for me. And don't take no time from nobody. Just do what me tell you for the same time. And make sure say everything work according to how man say anything for work. See? Take back yourself and bring back yourself in a one piece. Make sure see you reach. Hear me? Lord of mercy. Hey, Lord of his mercy. Lord of mercy. Driver. Don't stop at all. Drop this Arizona round an Albemarle. Driver. Don't even itch. Collect a little food there and come back quick. Driver, just remember the damn speed limit. Cause if you're running the fence, my friend, that is it. I've got an Excel phone and a singular chip. Any problem you can reach me on this. I pounds them I buy when a tons man a ship. Green like grass, brown like chocolate. FedEx and UPS I make several trip. All me life savings are right on this. You can drink and beer but don't you dare burn a split. This ain't the marijuana make your light uplift. Even though it compressed and tied down in a plastic. Don't deliver it a going up drastic. A barrel gun me bust and me and you know we can't stick. Me want change me zinc and put up the chroma stick. Tired receive Red Bull a straight hypnotic. So driver, me say don't stop at all. Drop this Arizona round an Albemarle. Driver, me say don't even itch. Collect a little food there and come back quick. Driver, just remember the damn speed limit. Cause if you're running the fence, my friend, that is it. I beat this man a rum in a no but now because my girl want wear Victoria's Secret dress. Some no love here so you feel put in pampas. Billy a informer with federal charge. Remember, don't care nobody in me yard. Soldier me love and me no respect coward. I dep on a mission man hustling hard. Don't get to you through them and suffer and starve. Hustling ability we learn that a yard. No feel your brain big, no bother drag yard. The last boy will try that dead like that. Sell off where you have a make we set you record. Driver, me say don't stop at all. Track this Arizona roll an Albemarle. Driver, me say don't even itch. Collect the little spenny and come back quick. Driver, just remember the damn speed limit. And if you're running the cops, my friend, that is it. Action pop, why some boy up your lip? Got a bunch of bantan cause you know you can't slip. Reach up on the rhythm for make them turn and dip. Watch it make the road, watch show them how we do it. When you watch right, make sure you maintain speed limit.
Yes, welcome back to the program here now. We have just gone through the midday break, 12 o'clock. We're going into the second half of the program here now on the 11th of April 2022. Let's get straight to the telephone. Good afternoon and welcome.
Yes, sir. Walk on.
Fine, thank you.
Yes, sir. I represent the people in Grey Park as a policeman undercover, unofficially. I work with problems at JSFHR and Mr. Lewis.
Hold on. Hold on. You represent the people at Grey Park?
Yes, sir.
And you are police?
Not officially, but they accept me because my application is...
No, you talk too far, but now you don't come like you talk undercover.
Okay, my application is at JSFHR. I'm a serious resource.
Your application is at Jamaica Constable for Human Resource?
Yes, sir.
What year, hold on, what year are you born?
What year are you born?
Yeah.
I'm born 75.
You born 1975, that means that you're 47 now.
Yes, sir.
And at 47, you can apply for joint police force?
Yes, the minister, Montague passed a law, so it's employing people at up to 55 years old.
So what?
My month security for Minister of National Security is employing people up to 55, even 60.
To apply what?
It was employing people up to 55 or even 60. My month secure.
I don't know if I can believe that.
Yeah, man. So, because Alan Greenspan, George Bush employment at 89 in the US.
George Bush, do what?
Employ Alan Greenspan at 89 to be his financial advisor.
Employ him, but that's not you. You're not a financial expert.
Okay, but Mike Edwards is a Parliament at 9-time President Charles. So what about me? I'm counted for just like them. And if you and it's lawyer retired at only
yes, but for them head did lick younger than your one.
Okay. So I ask Mr. Pummels, anybody here in to call the minister to deal with it, the informer, always strong, Mr. Pummels, I'm Mr. Lewis, and my number is 4949755, and I want to see the Spanish Town also. To represent guard people, I represent the people of Spanish Town, you know?
You done?
Yes, sir. Big up yourself. Big up. He's a great intellectual, you know?
Yeah, you take your medication. You take your medication?
You must get this one. Copper Robbie gave it to me. Detective Copper Robbie, so.
Who give? Who give?
Detective Copper.
Who?
Detective Copper Robbie.
Detective Corporal give medication?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
mine not going right now.
Okay, thank you.
Keep it straight.
Yes, sir. Keep it real, for real. Wow. That's what I come from Jamaica, you know? I have to big up neighbor, Prince Don.
Yep, which man you have big up?
Martha.
Eh?
Neighbor, Prince and Don, and Maggie and Madge, Andrea, Martha, the complex, former Prime Minister Sports in Miller, FBI. I work with the FBI abroad, and Joe Biden. I said Joe Biden emailed that it comes to Jamaica, uplift East Kingston, Dunkirk.
All right, we will take we'll leave you know, yeah?
Okay, sir, respect.
All right, nice. Next one, I'm going to tell you. Good afternoon and welcome to the program. Afternoon, welcome.
That's man?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's nice, brother, you know.
Go on. How the boss
always a text and listen, but I tell you something about a burning issue. I have to really call this morning. Yeah, the afternoon, I have to make the people that really know where I go.
Yeah.
All the while, I hear the man must say dance on, mash up. Believe you me, say, I Saturday night, to go to the session, the after champ business there, right?
Yeah.
Pay me $2,000, I'm going there. And all the vibes, you know, by myself, because I'm a socialist and I hold my vibes by myself. Then you know the place from up now and the artists and start go on stage now. Where they can start? I be a garbage, be a rubbish music. Everybody go on the stage, kill, gun. See, and scam people, scam everybody. I got the same thing. I guess the wickedest thing that not sound good because they come with that thing when them shock. Where I play them voices for one rhythm. And then when them start talk when they might know the voices for the rhythm they over there so. And then the over the other side, so it's all confusion. So when me and them talk about shock dance, it's really good for whatever experience. Because I used to the DJ and I'm going to England to DJ. None of the artists I'm going to pay me $2,000. Them not lyrical band like me. And people know me on the radio know I talk, you know, so boy, I'm a doctor, but I'm an artist same way. They make me know I'm going to start DJ back. They say me because Kingston 11, I live where the most artists come from, you know. Joseph, we live in Tabby where them kill, let's say. You see what I deal with?
Yeah.
So I call out for all of the original musicians, them, so they come fight for dancehall, take over back dancehall. Because all of the artists, them, none of them no good. None of them, King, Josh, even one of them governor, them sound good for record, but when them for the live performance, them are crap. That's when a coronavirus, them bust. You see me, none of them no good. Intense, none of them no good. Them will sound good on the record because when they burn at the studio, they sing the song without the rhythm. So the engineer can end with them sing first and then they put the rhythm side on it. But when they get a live performance, pay the money, them a mash up dancer. They need to watch out, this like them a perform, Bounty Killer, Bean, Cabra. This is signal. You see me? Even Mastercard good you. See, them you need to come up back. Bean man, when you line up someone and start keep some good stage for a and teach them you how to perform. You see me, I just stop me and make my voice heard, Father.
Alright.
I hear my driver rifle, man. You see me, the upset a crew bus crew. You see me, I can't go up on the radio. I mean, I hear them up. I hear up Kingston 11. Hear up Fire Roots, man. The man that boil a good Fire Roots. Every time. I know I'm listening right now, and Bobo and cousin. You see me?
Yes.
Yeah, man, Mr. Spam. I just make my voice, you see?
Alright, thank you very much, you see, sir.
Yeah, man, blessed.
Alright. Go on, next one. Another call. I don't know if you are hearing me. I have a busy signal running in the background here. Alright. We have a next call. We'll get back to some live chat here. Live chat. Yeah, Gary Brown said, blessed Jerry. Water is life when you are wasting it. Yeah. Marsha Wilson said, Jerry, the Speaker of the House would become the de facto president in case the office becomes vacant during the exigencies. Yes. If the president, if something happened to the president of America and him can't continue office, I think the vice president would be required to continue office until that term expires. And if the vice president can't do it, after that I think is the Speaker of the House. Yes. Have a call here. Alright, next one.
Hello?
Good afternoon. How are you doing? Marie?
Yeah, Jerry, good afternoon.
How are you doing?
Jerry, that beautiful piece of music that you went out with by Ernie Freeman was a beautiful weekend.
Yes.
Oh, my God. You know, I just go research him, Jerry. The man have so much accomplishment under his belt.
Yes.
And you know something before I forget to, Jerry? He had a sister. It looked like it was only two of them. Her name is Evelyn Freeman.
Oh, yeah?
They have a beautiful, what we would call Negro spiritual, you know, called Didn't It Rain. So if you get a chance, you could probably look
Her
that
name
up
Didn't It Rain?
Yeah, she did it in 1964.
Evelyn, 64.
Yeah,
She
Evelyn
probably
Freeman
younger than
did
him
it.
because you see all the music where I use as part of my team song when I Live It Up.
Yes,
And
what we
did
call
play-
Beardman Shuffle.
I him did play them called Beardman Shuffle, yeah man.
Yes, yes. Let me give you a little piece of the man by you, Jerry. I see somebody just called a while ago talking about how crappy Jamaican music has become when them done them a war over Grammy. Ernie Freeman was right there at the dawn of rock and roll. Next time you check out the period classic Bill Haley Rock Around the Clock.
Yeah.
Take notice of the unimposing piano man tinkling in the shadows way behind the platters as they warble Only You. That beautiful song there to Jerry. Only You. The platters. That's Ernie Freeman, the man behind a pile of California-born hits. Little Freeman was born on the morning of August 16, 1922 in Cleveland. Ernie took to the keyboard early and studied music at the university level. Right? He did a little stint in the service.
Military Service of America.
Military service, yes. And then when he came back now, he worked clubs, playing light jazz and accompanying the likes of Dorothy Danbridge. You know about Dorothy Danbridge.
A black American actress and singer.
Very beautiful black lady. Who and she was in by the time with Marilyn Monroe and all of them. But you know, black never get the the accolades that they're supposed to get, like a Sammy Davis.
I remember she'd star a black and white movie named The Decks Ran Red.
The what, Jerry? Come and look it up. The what?
The deck, the ship, the deck of the ship. The Decks Ran Red.
Okay, I'm going to look it up. So, and Diana Washington again, who made that stringer hits with Brooke Benton, Diana Washington, Yeah, and they said 1956 songwriter and producer Jerry Liebert discovered, and them tongue-in-cheek, them said so to speak, because the man was there. But you don't know when the writing. So discovered, so to speak. Discovered, so to speak, Ernie, and used him as a pianist and arranger for his one-off rock and roll ensemble, Scooby-Doo, and another one there on Imperial Records. Imperial Records now got wind of Ernie and enlisted his services as an A&R man and recording artist. But A&R meaning a music again.
You mean audition and rehearse?
Okay.
In other words, them on the recruit people.
Yeah, for the next half a dozen years, Freeman recorded nearly 30 odd fangled rocking instrumentalists. In 1957, Ernie covers of both Doc Bagby, Dumplings, which peak at number 75, and Bill Justice classic Raunchy.
Yeah, other music that Byron Lee make it off, you know.
Which one? The Dumplings?
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot. So
I think I'm first recording that. Dumpling. What?
When we see things, when I just leave it there, so you know.
Yeah, I believe Byron Lee first recording was Dumpling.
Okay, and Bill Justice classic Raunchy charted, and
Raunchy,
this three later.
Bill Daggett, that's a Bill Daggett.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And Indian Love Call.
May I tell you that the one wicked.
In 1958, theme from the theme from the Dark at the Top of the Stairs.
Dark at the Top of the Stairs, I'll tell you.
Yeah, and a version of the Twist. In 1962, these instrumentals usually featured
Dark at the Top of the Stairs, may I tell you. I forgot. Yeah. I think it's a movie. The name, so too.
Yeah, a movie, yeah. And he said that these instrumentals usually featured Plas Johnson on sax, Herb Ashby guitar, and a contingent of sticky strings. In 1960, Percy Faith turned solid gold with the release of his mushy theme from A Summer's Place. But I think Summer's Place is mushy, Jerry, because I love that instrumental piece dearly. You know? Yeah. Freeman, in response, wrote, arranged, and produced an equally pathetic, B-A-T-H-E, not pathetic, pathetic string thing he called Beautiful Obsession.
Spell the word, Spell the word.
B-A-T-E-H-I-C. I don't know.
Hold on. B as in what?
B as in boy.
B-A-T what?
B-A-T-H-E-T-I-C. So I'm going to look up what that means. Pathetic. Yeah, if it's, or if it's a typo. So I have to go look that up.
Yeah.
Right. And then released under the name Sir Chancey, Ernie's record sold well enough to chart number 89.
What the name item call it?
Beautiful Obsession. After Percy Faith released the theme from A Summer's Place, Ernie just come back and box him with something named Beautiful Obsession in 1960. And then Freeman and his usual session crew also hit pay dirt as both Billy Joe and the Checkmates, responsible for the coffee classic Percolator.
Yeah, Percolator. Yeah.
And B, Bumble and Stingers. When the recordings of Bumble Boogie in 1962 and Not Rocket 1962 made the big time. Over the next 2 decades, Ernie's keyboard sounds, his arrangements, and his producing skills were utilized by Sammy Davis Jr., Connie Francis, Dean Martin, Gene McDaniels, and Sandy Nelson. And you know, so them they are heavyweights back in the days of recording industry. Yeah, especially as Sammy, who was so versatile because he could do like he acted, he sing, he do everything, right, Jerry?
Him do all stunt.
Yes, right. And they came up to Simon and Garfunkel, Frank Sinatra, to name but a few. For 10 years in his twilight career, he was a music director for Reprise Records. Late in the 70s, Ernie Freeman retired and moved to Hawaii. He died on May 16, 1981 of a heart attack.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
What
a piece 60. Of biography. Autobiography when somebody write it, right, Jerry?
When somebody write about themselves.
Yeah, it's auto, but when somebody write it, it's biography. What a biography, Jerry? Musical biography, you know? Yeah. So his sister now, I'm gonna read about Evelyn Freeman. You know, she made that music, a Negro spiritual in 1964 called "Didn't It Rain?" Beautiful piece of music.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Lovely, thank you.
Yeah, man. All right, Jerry.
Listen on, same way. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think we have some more live chat here. But it's only the telephone, you know, busy in my background. Live chat. Where are they? Yeah. Yes, the numbers are 619 1508, 619-1508, and 279-8473, 279-8473. Yeah, man, Marcia Wilson continues that, talking about when the President of America, if something happened to him, can't work. Again, the Vice President take over for the rest of the term, or they leave out time. And if the Vice President can't go there, the Speaker of the House of Representatives is the third in line to take the presidency for the rest of the term. So Marcia Wilson is saying Nancy Pelosi is like third in line, that's true. Tony Thomas put a buckle of drinks like him told somebody. Didn't tell Basco say to Simeon. Yes, Ross Seymour, the book library, the Ethiopian World Federation Rasta House. His stories on YouTube. He got a custodial sentence for the books. In other words, he had to go inside prison, not suspended sentence. And we went also to Scotland and retrieved some of the Taba great ample. So him take some of the book them in Britain, where England the thief, and him go Scotland go get some of our Scotland the thief too. Ken Brown say Ross Seymour McLean, otherwise known as the book liberator and defender of rights, was one of our great, brilliant Rasta community asset. I have attended his Amharic classes at the Rasta House in South London. Okay. Bob Cosmic said, Ken Brown, Ross Seymour was a staunch advocate, and we made a trot to Ethiopia together. Yeah, I remember little Japa, otherwise known as Cabrilla. Okay. Bob Cosmic continue. Maximum respect to all in the chat. Let's keep the fire burning. Ken Brown back to back Cosmic. Yeah, like Cabrilla Mabrak. I employ Ethiopian World Federation in Scotland, and I go to the Knights Temple, where the Knights that have some lodgeman, and get some taba and send them to Ethiopia. Also, Rasbingi, and I retreat the obelisk, the obelisk from the Italian embassy in UK. Okay. Donovan Islet said, Jerry, that call about joining the police might have licked him head, but the point I want to make, I think, is that people can join the force at late age, even in the States. It's happening, sir. It's true? Okay. Bob Cosmic continue now in reply to Ken Brown. MCM1, Cabrilla Mabrak, a true patriot. May his soul rest in peace, and his spirit be lifted on high as he rejoices to the ancestors. That's it for the live chat. Well, as I was saying earlier, but I didn't make any more comment, today is the anniversary of the government attack upon the Rastafari community in 1963. And it was caused by a land dispute going sour and break out into physical violence. As you know, Rastafari people from a long time always value very much living on land that they control, and also making use of the land, planting land and growing their own food, and not using fertilizer and other artificial enhancers. Well, some brethren in the St. James area near to Montego Bay was, I think they was occupying some land that was not belonging to them technically. And afterwards, the owner of the land, from my recollection, I can't remember all of the sequences of what happened before what, but the owner of the land came into dispute with them. And their land, some of the land was actually some big estate land, big estate rather than just one person land, big estate land. And anyway, the owner or the manager of the estate did come into conflict with them. And then afterwards, they work out a deal. Like many times, these things happen. Some people come into conflict over land, and later on, they work out a deal between one another. Say, all right, go and use the land, but I have to get some of the food there where you plant on the land. And the owner gave them permission first. Which was first? I think they gave them permission first to say, all right, stay upon the land until the food ripe up and you reap it, and then come off of the land. Afterwards, it seemed to me them had a more agreeable understanding, say you can stay upon the land, Anyway, in a lot of these land disputes, people change their mind, and every week them talk a different thing. Come off of the land, all right, stay. Come off or stay, A lot of people like to haul and pull people when they have the upper hand, when they are in a position when they can either dictate the terms or them can just all change the terms at short notice. You know them kind of way there. One at a time, you know, many estates and big pieces, big landowners have some people work for them who go all over the land and check on what happened on the land. Sometimes them ride all some big horse and patrol like cowboy, checking on the land. Them call them man the ranger. Ranger because them ride the range. The range is the far stretches of land. Sometimes it have all mountain and sometimes it have valley, sometimes it have flat land. But them call it generally the range, and the man who ride up and down are the people who ride up and down and check pan land and see everything alright and no thief is not going on. Them call them ranger. And that's why one of the most famous cowboy figures in the Western storytelling tradition of the United States, where them say, you know, Western cowboy kind of life and ranch and raise cattle and thief cattle and have big ranch and the big farmer have guns strap on them. Ranger. One of the most famous cowboy figures in the legend of the West here in America. Named Lone Ranger. Because these, even in Jamaica, all over the world, especially amongst white people, them have people go up and down and call themselves Ranger. When the Ranger. The Ranger for the big piece of land in a Mobile where some of the Rasta man was cultivating land. I understand that one at a time between the dispute and the agreement and the dispute and the agreement, one ranger it come into conflict with the same set of Rastaman, including the leader. And something go down and he must take him gun and shoot the Rastaman. And he was severely wounded in his belly. And apart from being wounded, he was also arrested. And being arrested, although him wounded, you know, them wait till him come out of the hospital, him get better, but them wait till him can walk and still a limp and thing. Anyway, them carry him, go try him and sentence him to prison, so him both get imprisoned and him get shot also. And all when him come out of prison, the wound in him belly not heal up properly. Can get shot in him belly and it damage all him intestines. And sometimes these things can take long to heal up, especially because what? Apart from somebody getting wounded, and it is technically not sure if you're going to get better quickly. When somebody get wounded in them belly, and you know them intestines carry waste matter, the same feces before it come out, where you got the toilet and come out, it's inside your belly for a while. And if you get cut in your belly, that even the intestine get cut. And those feces carry a lot of germs and things. It is very easy for such a cut and such a wound to go bad. So this man was having this long recovery of not getting better quickly because of the wound in his stomach and his intestine. And some doctor told him that he might live a little while, but him never going to get better. You know? And I understand that when the brother got the understanding that him not going to get better completely and going to suffer for a while and then die, I'm not really going to get better. I understand that he decided to take revenge. He decided to take revenge. So anyway, I understand that him organized with some of the younger Rastafari who was with him, helping him to farm. And he might dispute with him some other people. Anyway, somebody like Empress Esther and chairman from Mobile, brethren Rastaman named chairman in Glendevon, and many of the brethren in the Mobile, and even some who is not from Mobile who know the story better than me, because I have the knowledge right now, but sometimes I don't recollect all the details as in all of the details. But one thing I was fortunate about, when the dispute reached to a stage where the Rastaman organized the other Rastaman them, or some of the youth with them to go and take some revenge on some of the people, one of the man where they damaged him. And it turned out to a couple murders took place. And them also take some gun from some police who come try capture them, but the police was sent out without any ammunition and them gun. A whole heap of things going. The fact is that some of them was charged for murder. And the murder trial in that time, late in 1963, because these murders took place in April, between April 11, 12, 13, right in the Easter time of 1963, these murders took place. So about 4 months later, those who were held and charged with murder were being tried for murder by Supreme Court. And my old man was a Supreme Court judge. And them assigned the case to him, saying to try the case. And because of that, I was on holiday in 1963, 15-year-old. Me and my cousin, them, all away in the SCMH group, about 6 away. Me and my sister and my 3 cousins. 2 girl cousins and 1 boy cousin. The 5 away frequently used to spend holiday together, especially summer holiday when you have a long holiday. And we were in the country, Runaway Bay, staying near the beach for a holiday as teenager, enjoy ourselves. And my brother decided just come back to Jamaica, just start practice law. Decide to drive, go on Mobay. Him did have other business to do in other part, but him decided to drive, go on Mobay, go check my old man. And him stop and pick us up in a Runaway Bay. So we so glad to go up on this trip, So 5 away in the car as a teenager, and my brother and 1 of them friends. 7 away in the car, but 2 a teenager. You have to say the 5 away pack up in the back. Big car. Say I'm a Norman Manley car. One old car used to belong to Norman Manley, but when him done with it, him lent it to the Union, one old Vanguard. An ugly old car, but it's big enough, all English car, but it's big enough. Big car, but him lend the car to the National Workers Union, because them not no help for money. And Michael Manley himself used to drive the car. First time I said Michael Manley had a car, them are driving in 1955. So this is now 8 years later in 63, the union still own the car. And my brother worked with the union. And him decided to go down to the country and pick me up as 5 teenagers. So through the car so big, the 5 of us could have hold in the back comfortable, and him and him friend in the front. And we drive go Moby, go check old man, while the murder case I try. And him did have some free time, and we go look for him. And him carry all going to the courtroom. And I show you how the courtroom stay. And the judge, them used to have a little flat, a little apartment, right in the court building where the judge stay while him a try case, because most of the judge no come from the place where the case is tried. And him start tell you a whole heap of thing about the case. And him all tell you say the government want to use it for fight against Rastafari and to bring in some extra long sentence for ganja. Him said they were so glad to do it that they was unfairly changing up the facts in order to change up the law to increase the sentence from ganja from a few months that it used to be to several years or a year and a half the first time you get old for ganja. Instead you go to prison for all 3 months, sometimes even 1 month, 30 days man get for all ganja too. And you never go to prison. Them just make you stay at the jail near to where you live. They want to change it up now that ganja become a major charge. So because they want to use it politically against Rasta. They lock up most Rasta, they charge them with ganja. And if you even frame them on his lie, people go and believe you. Many governments around the earth, especially unfair governments, have political charges that them prepare for people who they want to get rid of. And frame them all the while. You have some things set up as a false charge. And so you get rid of your enemy. Anyway, long story short. All over Jamaica, the government decided to start attack Rasta all over Jamaica and encourage the people of Jamaica, the ordinary citizens, to start attack Rastafari physically all over Jamaica, and if possible to hold down upon Rasta and carry them to the nearest police station. Is one terrible hunt all over Jamaica. They must stir up the people to attack Rasta. A lot of the people were sympathetic with Rasta, but some who have carry some feelings now was encouraged by the government. What the fuck call some pastor? The government, as politicians, recruit all some of the pastors in the church to fight against Rasta in them church service. So for months, you had a lot of propaganda going out against Rasta. Pastor preaching at them church, All school teachers who want to fight against Rasta, them use them. All different kind of prominent citizens attack against Rasta. And some of the journalists who knew better was given a more fair story and a more fair version of what was going on. And the government vexed with them. Matter of fact, Siaga himself was Minister of Culture. Siaga was Minister of Development and Culture. And Siaga getting a quarrel with the management of JBC, where it was a new radio station, and with other journalists, because the journalists was showing the danger of the whole thing what the government doing and terming it as a rebellion, which it was a form of rebellion, of course, but the government now don't want tourists to stop come Jamaica. So the whole government and Siaga was ordering journalists not to talk about it as a rebellion, because they're going to cause tourists not to come to Jamaica. So that's where Siaga started. I don't know if he did it before, but that is when Siaga increased his interference with JBC, interfering in the run of JBC every day, which you know say a government minister not supposed to be interfering with any running of any department of government or any government entity. They must deal with policy and stay out of it and make the officers who are managers or supervisors are responsible for the different entity to make them run it. But all the while them political man interfere in the running of business and them not supposed to interfere in that. Long story short. Let's get back and play this piece of music for that young lady whose birthday I say was Saturday. And I hope that somebody here and tell her that to play this music, because she probably is at work and can't listen to the music herself. This music playing now for Shaniel Smith, birthday was Saturday. Let's play it again. The same, the one by Stevie Wonder. Isn't she lovely? I don't know if we're going to get to play it. Let's try. Alright, we're going to take this phone call for a couple of minutes. Good afternoon and welcome.
Yeah, Jerry, afternoon, sir.
Oh, go on.
You know, my big up here, either one or two of them tune here. I tune them Color Him Father.
Oh, Color Him Father, I know that one there. What the man name again?
And the other one name.
No, what the man was singing? What the man was singing? What's name?
Stevie Wonder, man, Blowing in the Wind.
No, Color Him Father, what the man name?
The Wind Stands.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you can't find it, Blowing in the Wind, Stevie Wonder.
Alright, and I promise you none. Whenever you request music, I'm not going to promise anybody, because sometimes we have some difficulty.
Yeah, man, respect.
As a matter of fact, somebody requested music on Thursday, and I realized that caused the YouTube to block the broadcast. Somebody requested music, and I played a piece of music, but there was some copyright dispute about the music. I know hold on, listen me good. All music, most music that is published have a copyright on it, and some of the people who have the music don't allow nobody to play the music public without contact them.
Okay.
And one of the music that was requested on Thursday and I played was have a copyright violation, and I played the music, and as a result of it, YouTube blocked the whole broadcast from being come on. So nobody can go up on YouTube now and see about Thursday program through that. You see the kind of things that I have to deal with when people request.
Yeah, the technicality of it.
Yes, and some people might believe that I can't bother play the music, or I don't have no time, or but this is the heavy responsibility.
Yeah.
I can't promise anything here, sir.
Yeah, collective security.
But that music that by the Winston, a lovely piece of music, one of my favorite. Color Him Father.
Yeah, man, wicked tune.
Yes, sir.
Respect, sir.
All the best here, sir.
Yeah, man, you too.
Have any more calls? All right, if we have any time to play the rest of Isn't She Lovely? All right, let's go. Yeah, okay, we have time. Yes, thank you very much. Let's take the next phone call. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jerry.
How you doing?
I don't know if you can help me. I would like Lloyd Aguilar number, if you have it.
Lloyd Aguilar. Well, that is not something you should really call the program, but you should call me privately.
No, I have other things to talk, man. They have other things to talk. Because Muta Baruka about the Ministry of Labour, or them force the vaccine for the farm workers.
Oh yeah, they are forcing it, or the Canadian forcing it? Who is it? No, I don't. I think the Canadian is allowing them and it's the Jamaican forcing it. Not true.
They are right, and Muta Baruka checked it out, and he confirmed. You understand? He confirmed and said this is exactly how I'm saying. So people who are out there who believe that I'm just making stuff or telling a lie, you can go and check it for yourself as well.
Yes, I heard it before, probably a month ago or more, that the Canadians were waiving the necessity, in other words, so don't bother. And it is the Jamaican part that is insisting that people get vaccinated.
Yes, so I just done the call about and like the Aguilar number still. But if you want to take my number and give me or something like that, I don't know.
Alright, well, don't hang up. I'll take a number off the air.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, good. Yes, we have any more calls? Alright, yes. I think we should go and check back with the live chat and keep up with the live chat. Don't get to it like the other day. Thank you very much. Alright, live chat. Where were we?